enso October bosom ni efie ni aduonu enan eda ne yedwoada Monday 7th October 2024 in the year of our Lord. Ofeme radio kwa wasan wo Kwame Nkrumah Tikese me morning show president of the land for Bible ne kenka Onyankopon asem mebusam etre edun enso imu baako momientie Onyankopon asem Proverbs chapter 17 verse 1 and 2. Kontomwawisia asumdue wo mu ye sine efia aforbodie a woko ho aye ne ma akwanimdifo bedi oba oye aniwudie so obenya ajapadie mu chefa ewo anuanom emu maminti testimony kontomwawisi asumdue wo mu ye sine efia aforbodie a woko ho aye ne ma akwanimdifo bedi oba oye aniwudie so na obenya ajapadie mu chefa wo anuanom mu. Amen. Yaya ni pay yata abubuo. Oh, sanka meni ma afo nyina ye wie school no. Enene wo mo gu aburokyire yi. Ebi aye yie. Ebi wa private cars. Na me de bia me di trotro lem. Ya ne yehunu se da bi o wa esa abrabo na ebiti yen. Oh, ba ko ikura waka hu ikura de. Me ni mienu no. Ye was school na me ni made sen. Ena ni fie ankasa na sika ni ho. Eti ye den wanya ni bebre sa. Ayeden wanya ni bebre sa. Aha ayeden ena me mete Ghana ha pa visa papa minya. Never. We mo pay ya wo manya.
Okay, FM 101 points.
Ebia na wanya nso na wanya na hogoro so. Ebia na obi anya na nso de bata ho na no oden. Ebia no obi anya tumi no nanso so enkwa a wo hu ni sa edu baabi a nyame timi hyada edu obi sie baabi efrise wo ma empagya no koduru baabi a anhwe a na wan transe anche enti enye onwanwa sanka obi wo wa sikapa na ka yede penkwa yede ko yare a onko ni problem duru baabi a oba ade ni di wusie di adwuma wo ye no ane enya bibi a eso ani kura etuto bibidie nanso unyankopon na waye osa edu babia na wo dwen se ye ndimi pa mi benya sika madaache mafiki osuimu kura ko single room self contain minimo bia ose se mi dura burochire nempo na mi wu amepe odura burochire wi esanse se ye ni mwonyam se ye tumi se ye sika ebinum baabi a wo mu tishan wo mu nim anano na me no obi di nkobo ena me ka kire ne se wo mu a ekokokoko enuro sunum ne ade no wo mu a ekonuro su obi a wo petumi ebi a wo pewe se ade bi wo ho a ye kyerɛ wo sɛ ɛyɛ sacrifice a na nka wonim anka anyɛ nso wo nka nkyerɛ wo anɔpa yi wɔsoma me sɛ memɛbɔ wo amanneɛ sɛ ɔbrɛ a wɔbɔ a asomdue wɔ mu no ɛyɛ sene afɔrebɔdeɛ ɛyɛ sene sika pii menkasa sika nyɛ so onyame de hyira wo kwampa so a fa menkasa wo bɛdi ɔman so a ɛnyɛ menkasa wobɛyɛ MP a ɛnyɛ menkasa wobɛyɛ MD a ɛnyɛ menkasa wobɛyɛ chairman a ɛnyɛ na mmom ɛsɛ sɛ ɛyɛ tumi a animonyam a asomdue ɛwɔ mu na firi ɔteasefoɔ Nyankopɔn nkyɛn obi na ɔkan sɛ yee ne banto ka mfira burokyire mmerɛ no wɔ hia baabi a ne bedroom pa deɛ bunim sɛ kaa no a wɔtɔbrɛ no kaa no a kokum papa no edu baabi a yɛmfa nyame pɛ ɛmfa ma no ɛne wɔkasa akoa nimdifoɔ bɛdi ɔba a ɔyɛ aniwudie so wɔyɛ akoa no wɔ fie hɔ nanso nam sɛ awurade ama ne nimdie nso no wɔno ɛbɛpagya ɛwɔ fie hɔ wɔm sɛ ɔyɛ akoa deɛ wabɛdi ɔba a wɔno ɛyɛ aniwudie so wɔsɛ na ɔbɛnya agyapadeɛ mu kyɛfa wɔ anuanom mu ɔrɔfoɔ yɛmmɔ mpayɛ ma nkwa yɛmmɔ mpayɛ ma yɛdi a ɛnam kwampa soɔ yɛmmɔ mpayɛ ɛma tumi a ɛfiri ɔteasefoɔ Nyankopɔn hɔ yɛmmɔ mpayɛ ɛma animonyam a Nyankopɔn ɛna de ma saa kwan so yɛbɛdi yie saa kwan so yɛbɛhyira ɛnɛ ano asɛm bi a meteyɛ nansa ne nɛ sɛ nsafonu mu bi wɔ hɔ koraa no a post bi atɔ na wɔ mo pere no na asɔfoɔ no bi nam nnuro so ehuo kɔgye aduro ɛde abɛpɛ onyame asafo so adi so kontomawe se asomdie wɔ mu ɛyɛ sene efie a afɔrebɔde a wɔko ho ayɛ ne mma awurade me ni n'akyi deɛ tie biara ɛyɛ daniera ɔbɛhyɛ ne munyam ɛwɔ ne birim na dum ti ɛne abɔ mpaye fagidie ka sɛ amen yɛkenkan efiri mebusɛm etire dunson imu baako ne mienu Proverbs chapter 17 verse 1 and 2 onyame asɛm nie amen.
God bless a homeland, God a motherland, faithful and together. Hello, my brother. 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 Hello, my brother.
Chibia Ghana mai betu pon wanejna wo mamba power dwene Ghana ho kane die chibia ane na magani amagashia ni hunu amagawo ho die chibia eyegigi
One parliament members attending the sitting my Ghana move hello man one parliament members attending the sitting my Ghana move hello man well are you excellency strong and never give up hello man one time your excellency is strong and never give up hello man
okay 101.7 sunie na Ade Akye Abia dwumadi sunie na mame nkan kyerɛw sɛ ene busumi mienu pepepepepepepepe no man ya to aba ene 2 months pepepepepepepepe no man ya to aba nti ne say na polling stations ahodoɔ across the country ɛhyehyɛ so wa na dankwa Akufo-Addo ohun mmɔbɔ ɛma opost ni bie no aka 2 months enti sɛ aseɛ na wo pra kwa bi aba omia ba no wa ma ahu ne nipa ni nyina benya post enti wo toto niama yi atoto niama yi because minim say se president bia ba na okwa nipa bebre wo wa wode wo mo kwa wo mo nsantimi mewura amanyose mu bie mu because sabi wanya ne chefa mambana da akofo wo kono wode nipa bebre koi sabi ebi kura ahwere wo mo kra ene binum so nya chance na adan kwa akofo ado ba yi wo mo sutim be wura mu yewura safo ma afonom yewura kanda panum wo mo sutimi ebe wura mu bedidi ya eja kakrakra wo mo so wo mo kro wo mo podie eja wo mo hia bibia sa wo mo hia bibia sa demom ebinum wo wa mo anka twoboi da twoboi wanka bi da yetimi mo obi post obi gina na kwa ofiri di ofre aban bi aba sa yewura mama penso no ye woni pa bebre a utimi se wo mo brei but wo mo no adom na anso wo mo so saa enti 2 months ni no wo aja mampani di wa hye baabi no kura wachi yie goze bia na the next government no na amfa afa wo so a wudi yewura mahama akire no mo a omam omo post no meta abusa se ebra wo ye campaign dodo no atiasi mu ye campaign no mo wai wa mo yewura mahama ma o madwuma no mo wai we me ma o hina na akwaba ena na me mo ache
oh nana mejo so
na boko odie
oh nyame adom hey nana no pedie wo futuo yi nyansa fon fan kwa dwendwen mu o
Proverbs chapter 17 no ana sika sumbi wo udia no strings attacked
no prison ko
no
police me how
debi
udia no untwetwe wani rough oh
na Ramblers by Jerry Hansen led by Jerry Hansen
yeah
obonwum bi titidwum wana wadi kan ko no won kro wana esi won yiye no won kro na medie menante brebre na makudro na medie menante brebre na makudro obi kra ni Nyankopon no bi nyina ho medie menante brebre na makudro so wana esi won yiye no wonko na wani ka akwa so wonko na medie menante brebe enti abo chameleon abosoma kotre eda bi wa behunu na onamboko da bi won so behunu no no kontentente briskly o se edu ba bia intempa bi ye edu ba bi so a boko bi
ye enti enye de bia na yakoboko
dabi
enye de bia nso ne yakọ gidigidi
gidigidi
wow
na obi betimi di emfie aduonu anya yedie bi obi de bosome miensa one contract pe
ebenya abroso
eti ahabwa wote ponkoso na woko na Elia wano nso enam fam na awurade ahode ti si Elia so na odi mirika ekosane nana nyame nim ne entia o ma nipa kro wonsi dan wonim ne entia o ma wo nkwa aburokire bia na play bi kura koto
ana wakonya kata akura wo wiem
yeah
na wowu
onim ne entia wa mama mpani ama o minister no tiase
Obekwa ko wies kam ya do bekwa ko tum.
Ebi wo kura yade bi firi hi na bebo. Woni me enti a one post to one kosa station no. Wan hwe ana nipa bi akoye woduro kum. Etudu ba bi a wo se na wode yensie. Ema wo gye da. What you say? Estanyame chanyum na auto no. Was
ya kwa me uzi edumi.
Ya wode ekosie ansana. Wa adoye.
Nana, unja ta asem we.
Wo dua ba. Se wan fa nhye foma en germinate.
Nana, se kro bi tu kra nkro no wo hene kra anza na do be ba be kire no. Ya che do kwahye nkonya dem.
Ye fe no apatam. Ena na bro for the designate no.
Minister designate.
In terms of swafo a ote apatam.
Okay,
Ya do akwesie.
101.7.
Du baby a yem fa ne peman.
We.
Benim sister bia na wo kumase na opa wa no nya. Na me adom onyinsane okwa wo so no. Sister amma akola no atiase be.
Oh.
Nana oma wo nkwara na da ne dwonki abodamfo ni de keke ho wonim se na ne ba ne be ya nko be pra wo
Ada bi nko ka ne be bi twumoye.
obi awo ma ne ba boni tue kunu na no lende abochen so otu otwitwa ne busuanfo ni nyina
Se Ghana no sa wono se abra wo gbo no wa ye nhwehwemu anwu se eye ne papa na hyase a o ma ne brezi ne enu atwese kan atwa ne tie firi
last week ana
last week ya
ti du baby a ye fanya me pema no
na de besi bia ye o
de besi bia ye du baby kura no a enyuma baby odo fa ye nyina no na ode ye oyie na wiye no wode be opeso de shawonsa ayenkunimdi na me ka se ende busu mi bienu be ye to aba
aye to aba hey emra ye ninka so nana
debi
enche wona fe
enti se mu ana mudi konkonsa kire president
awie
se
awie
mi di konkonsa kire president ne amampu ene miam busu mi bienu yi di obi anye ye kwaka na pra kire ne ma de ye de be ma di konkonsa je kalipo political kalipo
ai
nana ma menka enkyere wo se obi a ukuta political post ne kai se free Kwame Nkrumah pen so no post pa ne oni ho
yo charge for them na okay
charge for them anti power is transient
etwemu
nana
eto na wonsa ka bia hu se ebekọ
Professor Mills nyame fa ne kransie
ya
sabre woni e no omo ho no Professor Mills free ho no yero ma ba no so wo ba ese so do nkrofo ba
oh sure
nti wo mo so no na mo yi yero ma e ba ye no ono so do nkrofo ba yi
sa pepepe
na maka ne ma mienu ne me say wo apese mahama so bedi aba no be ma post no ye hu
dia wo ye dinati
stand up and be counted
yeah da huadi
na anu mi bisa ne ma bi say yero mahama wo ma obo mu ministers no mo we wo so mu wi
da bida
yewra awuada akronya na to ne boss no o we ti campaign wunya bi ana wo ye submarine
ebia
submarine kura me ye hu picture wo gina ba bie
ejina submarine no ho
me ba chaw
yeah
yewra mama forest commission kwan wo de ne ko ho wo wai
yo
kasa me buba
Nana adaje be boyen.
Daje be boyen.
Mu wan.
Sabre bo yewra mahama obo chairman ahodo no. Campaign wo mo ye. Wo mo the logistics e boa mo. Original ministers why?
Director generals.
Director generals, MDs.
MCs ni
MCs why?
Yamo apon ko di oko.
Oh no.
Wo fa nana.
Na mamenka onu so asemi. Who can say omo born the best MC yo. We say you born the best MC. Any di nkomo Saturday. Edu 2 weeks ya na say yi na di.
Wenya wa man kra. Ade.
And I'm a friend be mo say the then first lady na akaje ni kunu so pam no.
Oh.
And also the world no jiji mama ho no. O say President Muhammad.
Ne ka mu dudu.
Na we need di nkomo sa o say. So we tram so MPP for this tram so. Oh, my friend voice ni bi na.
Oh, ba ya mo bonko.
Na nsa na ne ho dodo no.
Oh.
Nipa be ye bi.
Oh, wa me ni na o.
Na Bible say yenim say we enum nyina e betwam a. Nipa suo be na sase ye yo.
Ye nipa pawate. Do nipa wate.
Do nipa.
Bua nipa.
Bua nipa.
Oh.
Afa me kan kire nsem twofo. So wo he. Obia mo wo pa enko obia ntokwama no.
Ewie.
So ansere.
Tie.
Bacho. Wa frew say ya adwuma bi ma no. Baby.
Anya chino baby.
Tran baby.
Ya nsuma.
So one hweye. Na go kan sem nya amane.
Okay,
They will not come to your rescue. Sure. How many and some truffle? Yeah, what fast? How many and truffle? And a baby bar. What for one post? Some say near you.
No crack.
And sports minister, where you did. Then we are what? Where deputy sports minister, who and I pay.
Now, oh yes, substantive cry and one on pie. Obey me a yabros.
Kupa cabinet meeting.
One portfolio. Me imagine a scrap a deputy. Who my intra?
It depended on the ministry.
Exactly. Your ministry be to say a Greek. So broad they say with me a deputy in charge of fisheries, deputy in charge of crops, deputy in charge of whatever. But ministry be to say sports. Who you deputy away?
Deputy no bia a hockey association
But ministries there's no need to say obey deputy bia
kwagu na ro political party bia wo ba baby okwa na ye create na ye dey assort nipa bi out.
Oh, but Kwame, is it about governance or is it about sorting?
Kwagu Mike no governance and sorting. Mike no governance and sorting.
Hello, two.
Kwagu
Try two.
Okay, everybody are wanting go.
Everybody are wanting go.
Kwagu
no, most of the ministries we don't need a deputy.
Kwagu mami mo ade. Yeah, African politics no. Enkrofuko bi aka omo ho abom. Na yenko pre o mine na dwa.
Ever gwa mi ndi anim na ogwaji pose na ne krono no ya jeja ma ye na.
Me nka krono. Ye ni ankasa de ni ska ba ye wa adwen de bebu man no. Ska de ye ni bi. Eti ye ge o mine ni wie a. Ni acheche pose na ma ye ho. Ni acheche bia mo bi. Ye bedi bi. Ni ye bia yi. Sanity. African politics say ya sanity.
Edis the MPP boy. Obi no ye kan bi o ga se mi kura mi dwetre
There be me pacho. Mamma, me pacho. Say, Jenny and this yabai. Ye ba. Ye get $100,000. Any a day too. Anna,
that is it. As you are the constitution.
me ba Batamamu Baumia.
Aye.
Me kuta $200,000. Any Mudia Munyan to a grandson.
Come here, see a dish constitution. Undimi found some point, my Jessica, my young tam.
I think quite way. Take West out to us way. Won't wash our motion.
Aye, I'll be some confess.
And I know a don't go grad so a band and trouble will be a car.
Aye. It's a job for someone I'm about the room. Monzona will be a moamo. Timodia Montomami will be a better car, papa.
And now, Bagonu say, so called ballot paper no so, he didn't train you a fool.
Aye. Go Gaza. Does you know? A simple ballot paper now. We didn't team you for not to Abaman. But is a chada say, oh, you ballot paper now. We didn't team you for not to Abamano. I didn't know what I can. Me ko to wege kufu ashe.
I've got a one of the day.
Me ko to wege kufu ashe. O nya vote ba ko.
Say the thing you food there will be a thing you. Now, Kwagwe. Winning one of his funny promises. Or say, you bet me a ye bibi. I didn't you go to Kurana near Yena Yeshan near the Achrabro phone say. I dear way what to obey say. Now yes yet in your scare from
now only brony one in yati.
Kaza okos kamia bro phone.
Oh, only one who have really me my bay wakwa o mem who any at the gen.
Oh, kwa apo. Obi anu a obedi aban no. Okuta kapra na asebwa. Kwa mamza mo ade bi. Most of nkrofo a e be ministers.
Na uni ma de ba akun.
There be
1992 obi ye campaign na oye se omani mu aye din ya tutu ni
omani. De bia omani mu aye din.
Obi enu wo so abaka se matete so. Hwe tata nkufo kura gallon. O ma benu nkufo no kura gallon. No de ye. Petro ye toni say we ga so bo we ga se me de matete so.
Na ka ekufo ado so pension no yi. Petro no me ba betete so.
Say Ghanaian kamu ba yi. Musio.
Ba nya what is we?
Si dia mu dia ko 80 pesos.
Ka nya what is we?
Na not is wo heaven.
Why?
Ba guys have that no.
Me
ba betete so.
Me see next government say former president Mahamo, former vice president Baumio. Obo say nyoma na omo ka se boa ye de na nti yentu abo e be san akosoro.
Unu ma go ndia. Ye ba ye no aban dada no na wo ho no wa nya de. Wa wi na mo
2 years baby mu aban dada.
Nanka. Okay. Nana. Amanyofo. Nana.
Yeah.
A free 1992. Ebe pimne. One more journalist. Ben bia ba. Was say wo kwa ha. O me say.
Oh na wa mo nya hin bia.
Enu 50 so dem.
Na 50 krampo de wa bokese dodo. Enya hin bia sa o.
There comfort time. Cabral Blay Ami here. And we are an ambassador. Where be you?
Minkai wo bia o.
Mails time, Century Bay. Na don't go for the buy no. Why?
Kakra.
Why? Mam Bobby Manche. Enti mwadawro ma se yewura Mahama na beba se yewura Baumia na beba. Ense ntwofo ye tiri ngu saa o.
Na adwuma ye do tire wu a obedan ye. Na adwuma ye se utire wu a na nam he
when your board member kura ye hwɛ na no Michelle Yera Fortune Alimi
of Daily Guide.
Wonim sɛ ɔyare dadam afe.
You don't mean it.
No ntimi nante
14. Wow.
Afe.
Wow.
Party ni bia nkɔhwɛ no.
Na na what say?
Party ni bia nkɔhwɛ no. What I say onye party ba.
Na
Adwuma
Daily Guide mu.
Adwuma MB before the fortunately me ye no. Obi nkɔhwɛ no.
What a national organizer.
Enti wote hɔ a koma wo ho. Aha yɛ tie yi. So okɔyɛ wa pantan ne wani kranchi wani msa boɔ ɛkɛyɛ wɔka bi ma yɛn. Wabompa. Wafom adwuma.
Aketua ne sɛn.
Wo se?
Wafom adwuma aketua ne sɛn. Hey.
Da bi wabɔ me pa. Sɛntwɔfoɔ mo bi amfa mo cheap wate.
We are not cheap commodities.
Na baabi a wo yɛ adwuma no ye yi wadi a political party ni bi amfa wo.
Na no say fortunately me I yari ada 1 full year.
1.7.
Hey. Na no mama me ho adwiri mi anopai. Wa ma me ho was fortunately me.
Hwɛ.
Ada wo afe obi ansi wo.
Wo de ma me nkɔ fortune kra. Kumase G runabout wo no. Wa say pharmacy bi ho kane na ye Bikai pharmacy.
That's right.
Nana oye one of the bank rulers of the MPP. If any Jemfi Bikai. The resources of the Boa party. But for time no woman fino. Yeah, turn it down party name fino.
But a Boa party no so.
Boa party. And you are not over this more. Ubenya baby. Yenia na obi bo ahia ne di nkomo yi. Papa ni nim de wo soro. For time na injury time no man Minister of Interior. Yeah, bibisa na anwanwasam ne se. Enti what way akora no more resource no. Wa mo ayi what de ba membrisi wale membrisi wale yeah agora no yeah den yeah tete committee si kura obi amfre no.
Campaign kransi wonim.
Campaign.
Na campaign wonim o.
So no aye ne de. O de ma me ni godi nkomo wate.
Ayo.
Nti de wa ba opa no. Koma no.
De wa ma opa no.
Tna baby.
Tna baby dwuno ho.
Tna wo baby.
Yes.
Na dwene ho.
Yes.
Na ehia wa na ehia amanfo. Ehia wa.
Ehia amanfo.
Obi kura wa ban mu a na odanko akufado ama ne post ATS ni a. Maybe windi omo keka. Because the car men kokani ke ko position akodi esika.
Hey. Na dan tro letter kwai.
Wan ka twa obai. There be sa ka 2 months ne kwa wa ma no.
Hey.
Okwa chere.
Children. Anya nipa wenya. Hey. Allah wallahi.
Nana mama nkodi nko mesa ba wate.
Nana. Me twen.
Mate ewura. Okay, 101.7 so any Nana Obribwa ye former deputy general secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Wo ye emranimu ni na ye ne no entwetwe enkomo. Miru me moache.
Oh, that's right, not to say.
Boko now so
Oh, no, I'm about Roma.
Ami. Nana na yama pen nana da kwa kufuado ene the new publisher wo the enu mu ha na wakodi enkomo na ewo France 24 eye channel bi e wa abrochi memu na e wokan ye was Akufuado on democracy hub protests. Don't blame me over arrests. I love them. Another na baako nso no sɛ wɔse I can't jail demonstrators. Saa nkɔmmɔ yi mmerɛ mu wodi wura mu a ɛte sɛn.
Oh, my child check here for. I could father was spot on. A man for Becca said, yes, okay, you know, sadness or so can. I mean, what a person say, oh, I could father Bonnever and why you be. The institutions are there. You have the law making, Benny Bayembra. The law adjudication, that is the court. The law implementation, executive. Now, he is the president of the Republic of Ghana. Obinuma sir, the police farmer here, the Bayer Yachere. Police fat Asiamabe, Samutimi, Monfaha, Matro, you outline the Yinina, Mona Motro, but the map for you, that's under the Public Order Act of 1994, Samoya Yachere BBC. More mudini cause and pain for Muna Yebisam. More ya demonstration. It is a constitutional right. Yen I demonstration with that. Mikumi Prako, Semi Prako, Yemi Prako. Look, I was 1994, 95 about you. Radio I, me 1992, Radio I. If you have the Assami A in Yanuni, it's about a demonstration, I can't move in. Radio I. Yes, you know.
Aye, Rakubro Benum.
Huh?
Rakubro Benum.
Yes, Radio I. But Abaya Biamu Abrewa, Abaya Biamu Abrewa. Other area, you know, or ye bida. So we said to Sibu Benum.
Aye.
Abaya no Abrewa Bia. Although Abrewa, a year, you be no on ye bida. Oko Siamia, I design. Uncraya on the Besia. Don't have a shell now or Bribuan. And so, Mezop will be my best son if you ask him.
Hey, Mezop, I know,
pardon Mezop, my best son will Baku Shrine.
Hey, Baku Shrine.
Look, I told you that my memory that my Bab was Joa Sabbath.
Hey, Sabrina, a father, a Bacchus, or Dihini.
At that time, and Medina Risk Hotel. Come and Nancy or Risk Hotel Medina. What I said, dance my club and Sonic. Club and Sonic. Tiptoe, cycle, tiptoe. Obribwa him a chairman nase. Apollo Theatre, in Canada, Apollo Theatre, now the back tiptoe.
Yeah.
You were tiptoe. No, my father, the other from Procona, no, my cross of gata.
Momo time, not a DJ Young Joe no more.
And then Mobisco, as family, no.
Yeah.
I bet so one, so teeny,
hey! I get this over there. Okoji best dancer in the world, no.
Exactly. I get this over. So T Ozige, Namden. Oh, we are better say and try and answer though. Meba tiptoe. Nama nantin ma cross gata no ma top preko anama re na ma cross ka na me ko Apollo Theatre.
Wow.
So when I see some young men and young women demonstrating, but the bottom line is that you have the right to demonstrate, no problem. The bottom line is that as you continue to demonstrate, you must respect the rules of the game. There were the rules of the game. Your rules, rules a game, no. Rules you go on, we shall go no outside that. No, my educate not Viera Koshe on say offside. These are the rules of the game. So you are demonstrating. Now what block of coin? Now what should sit tight? Now process for to. This is sheer indiscipline and lawlessness.
And then on the moral flip side, you know, nipa bi argument says said ye galamsey na say yensuo no so devastating more than
I will revisit that.
okay.
Galamsey na say yensuo a ko di aso kwa yamfre ko japa ko bodie ko tapa brabe bomi go there, go and demonstrate there. Ko one shouldn't say, Odona, and one kind of inside. Government contracts loans, billions and billions of dollars to the state Odona. When was the last time you took to the street to demonstrate? Now, I'm not justifying Galamsey, but we need to be very careful. Or be a small scale miner. He has a license to operate. Then you are talking like the Professor John Posey say, you are in a state of emergency, near my opiano, and your juma. Mokasamu, your politician, Nippon, Momo, politician. You can go and do politics.
Prof. Jampo, dear son, on ye, CSOs, no, and member.
NDC communicator,
oh, Debbie, Debbie.
Who doesn't know Jampo? Who doesn't know Anache from Paul?
Oh, there be one NDC communicator and Pacho.
Oh, you welcome at it. But, sir, but the bottom line is that you can't do that. So, you see, people have license to operate. Look, when this LI legislative instrument 242 was passed, the Kwababa passed, no, Ninyabi Kanye. No, Salaway, or more pass here. Adama Yone Abagana. That was in 2022. 2022. Person better Batman being in our wedding in Akahubi. Mikasa law no more partial because that law no it gives the Minerals Commission the right to mabin money in the forest reserve. And there is a law which has been passed by Parliament. Legislative instrument. Metizana Nigagazi. All Kasa Nano Pebiname monitor or Sabane. Pen Nigagazi. Kawakwa University of Ye. She should know the difference between LI and EI. One country Nigagazi says Wakwa University of Ye.
Nigel. Nigel.
One country is a Obriwa Henda Warrior University. And you all EI Munsum, any LI. So, you should go back. You should go back to university to or non-Kobisa. When this publication, when I'm Mikasaya said 2462 no. About Bontana, a Damayam problem, if we say. Minerals Commission ever to me, I'm a man for mining in the forest. A bassa. From Sonin Free Martin, you see. And from Sonin Free Obia, and from Sonin Free Parliament of Ghana. And Parliament of Ghana, MPP for wom, NDC for wom. They are Pempo. It is a law no bar. Mekan, everywhere in there. Oh, you know. Something about my post about money, you know. Whom you know, whom we are not, Mimia.
I said, baby, so how can you grow too much?
And I mean, come across your me can't tell me the bone about MPG 40 years. I'm a crown on the country. And I know why I didn't. What in the baby is what my nephew is. Oh, but you know, I still go to court. I do my work as a private practitioner. So that may not board to be a sub that board of San and Cabo swimming board on the Bemam Socolafia. Now I'm going to show me how far. Mr. May not board to be a sentiment court to another Medidi. I decided, Minister, the last and forestry, now me con was a concession. Timber lines is be, or catch them some coaching copy. Now jump baby tonight. Now the man concession be a sanka make a minia and can make a court. Sanka men and court. And can make a minia.
Wamau.
Bamam. Minister, you new lands and forestry. I went to the Mienu. Men and a catcher.
Are the woman said anyone?
Really, sir, now me need him cry, Jajan cancer cry.
Mate.
Didn't want to be on here.
Oh.
No, but I mean, sometimes let's keep our trust and confidence in our God. The Yankopon onimnia. Oyama yan sabi ebi kura ne be ma me nim ko wura mu. No, I mean, sorry, let's concentrate what Nanado said and in the light of the law. So Nanado said here, that the bebe kokotu, ben fa ben kokotu. Ombema wo mu belu, ben ma be belu. Enya me Nanado. And Nanado nyo kana ye no kure. Look at the idea about making a horn, sir. What is happening? More Marco Court, but I would say,
Ite.
Marco Court, Mother Marco Bail, Ediama Muncrofo, Circuit Court, Muka and Bamamu Bail. I can tell you, any, with due respect and with all humility, any serious practitioner who is interested in protecting the rights of the client and go back to High Court for repeat application. I am being honest. You go to the circuit court, who call you the Baba Bama Baby. And Kadana Numrenua, Uba, Yanua, Papa, 2-3 days, what file because there's a vacation judge. You place it before the vacation judge. Uko High Court, me refuse you, and I now what was circuit court? Bama Ube. Men can be also on my repeat application or High Court. No one's not for placards. Free girls, please, I think that we should raise about a certain standard. Munya de hunu, Manyamu Kwanam Wagana.
Afe Nana. Nane. Wamo Collie on the Attorney General say, on file a case of nulli prosequa.
I call it a reckless and irresponsible approach.
Oh, why?
Why? How can you call on the Attorney General to file a nulli prosequi? Filing of a nulli prosequi, there were reasons best known to the Attorney General.
Sir, much almost will be a year. But
now, you got a done on that will be
a court, no.
So that explains why you should go to the High Court.
And he is prosecuting on behalf of the public, or the Republic, in America, the Attorney General. And to one to me, say, okay, tamper justice with mercy and leniency. It may
tamper justice. I can't now block your nama or be so on the Bawiano. Sabi in the Bawi and the Onyanipa.
Oyenipa.
You must respect the rules of the game. You must respect the rules of the game. And not Aston Villa and Manchester United boy and only player of the match. And yeah, John Evans, 34-year-old John Evans. 34. And so no, only man of the match. 34-year-old John Evans. And that's all the Italian match about Kubia Maria. Wabunya penalty and Sambo Sen. Penalty and a record. So the rules of the game, you should respect it. So because you had a demonstration, said Galamse and Bane, I have the right to never go to a pussy for someone. Never go block a quad. You can't hold your thing here. Na papa na mo block kwa no obi okoshe hospital obi okoto drona ne bawu obi wache de anya just onye nipa. Hypocrisy. Okoto de ne budwe nyenya nche de onko. And I saw a woman be a nano payna.
Nana, you are calling for their incarceration.
I am not calling for their incarceration. They were arraigned before court. The court reminded them in custody. The lawyers knew they could have gone to the High Court for Bangkok. I didn't see Bangkok. No more lawyer for Misabe. Akufado, Asamba, Boniba, and Akufado. I mean, your court, Menya judge. Minyewe, I'm playing number Anya and Derby. On your court. Maybe the back on my court, man. The system is there. Why don't you go to the High Court to repeat the application? But I'm a maintain Sosu Akwa Samai, Nipa Bebre, including the one to Sosu Akwa Samai.
Meaning pa Javier Sosu.
Now I'm ordering Sosu or the court Samani and other than Sosu Anko High Court to repeat the application for them. They are just playing to the gallery. Namukaza Manamun Kwanmuti. Everyone in lines is how in small scale mining. go to Takwa. Minimum more lines, sir. They have employed people about 5,000 in Pimunum.
Okay,
Takwa Bika Bibia. Takwa Ubenya. 3 companies Bia. Baku who call university wa. Baku on side right. Na baku so on side left. Omna omoya no on side right on side left ni na no. Omoya NDC4. But there's nothing wrong. Because they have their license to operate. Ni all left and ni all right no so ko you know on ko brother bon hono. The 2 of them they employ no less than 13,000 people. Uga da moti Ghana hana ya nkran kwana ya Ghana na. Ana ya kumasi kwana ya Ghana. Ana sugani kwana ya Ghana. Omi approach issue ni ye. Ne be say ne be ye and then this morning I read say labor union say they are going on strike because of but what has that got to do with Galamsey labor union going to what?
Amo asem say ensuo na essay no. It affects everybody. Affect obia na obewo akwala akora no ne bia ne na ni ho because of cyanide ne de ka ho nyina bi.
Unim. What Apitiko da? Apitiko ebe no boase. Onko hoda won.
Dabi.
Udro boase a na se wo ko gun kowa. Otra Kokam hotel no on sabi gun. Oko wani kakra bi alisa babe 300 meters. Our pai afa unse ni fast. E fa wa Apitiko. Aya santi go for no eye baby abebe man no. Hono bebe ya bempen be de kogu no. Affect Apitiko so ukwa awo bekora me ma akwa akowure mo. Awo bekora wontimi nwure awo be. Mama say ma bio adasina. Abrem adasina. Odi okwa adasina. Na oko ure mo wadru adasina krom no. Oko wani kakra bi no afa wonsa benkum si. Onse o ma twa dam kese bi wo ho. Newman for twa dam kese bi opposite the dam. Won ante kwa dam no woni fa so. Afuo na ho nyina kore. Mire nkontomre no nsuo to nkontomre na ye yellow. Ayi bodia no unse bodia no won fianso. Na babe wo Newman start ye no na nso na sai na adasi na Apitiko no. Ayi at the same Ghana labor and civil societies no Bruce no bo mo hu ana. Ana adasi na for ne Apitiko for there. Banya ndisi fo nti. Na mo amoya ndisi fo mpa fo nti no mo agagina mu ana. We cheapen ourselves as intellectuals. Argentina crash for no muraba Yama can Yama Yahu Yafosa, Yama Yahu Yafo. We don't cheapen ourselves as intellectuals. Why? If you know Abano, very sensitive and delicate.
Nane, sir, uni edin koma. Insuo no aseye yenye den.
Insuo no aseye no. One. As I say, you make and then I ever start yakono. This airline, me Kwame Nkrumah, me the Lone Ranger in this country. So airline M1. One repeal airline one revoke airline one mende airline Masa agrobin wodi. Because as long as this airline is in existence, no. And my members commission no kwan. And my EPA kwan. And my last commission kwan. And my begging kwan. And my begging the license and the man. But the license and the man, Bentin, woman. And now you me carry back.
Bye, your man license say uncle mine wo. Insume.
No, license say my name is but no. Can anyone be mura forest in no? Now then says because you've given the person the license to mine in the forest. About a woman monitor obre. Then two, I didn't say a simple. A boy here or about the seku hey madam fee. Aguna ni yanano yaboni ni madam for.
FIFA.
Afrifa no China for no Afrifa koche ben. Say China for no. Na my brim maswa China for no free for coach beno. Maintain said the back of court. Ewo baby. Now, Samates ewo has so obechenuya. Into the Samates chenuya. That's a Samates the choir no come China phobi. That's a China for no equia minena. As I will revoke the license of Samates. You need the political wherewithal. You must be brave. You must be bold. To borrow the words of Kwame Nkrumah in politics in Ghana, a friend of German Kwanzu. Be bold. Senator for now, a free farm coin. Your license, what to say, I withdraw. So the issue no simple, sir. And therefore, if you want to score political points, and yes, I did you know, and say, na lebe baako kra de say Ghana Medical Association better please go and put on your NDC t-shirt. Some we are no near Senka. But I say you are hiding behind Ghana Medical Association. Say you're better. Please, they should stop that.
Okay,
there should be God fearing people. Politicians can say politicians oh yeah no. Now we are sending them a coup for the Samok. I am not correct. No, you'll be caught, and you'll be in a year way, and you'll be in a year say, now court, one could repeat your application. Now, anybody that would I'm staging a demonstration, say, free or my convict. But have you gone to the lawyers in the chambers to talk to them? Sub you, Kafrate. But the call reminder now, but you go to the chambers of the lawyers and tell a lawyer for. Marco step 1. Bama baby. Yedeng. What can we do? Legally, procedurally. Then the lawyer will tell you, sir, let's repeat it at the High Court. Okay. And the lawyer, this is kind of filing character. You prefer to go by the social way, talk or someone abano our High Court. What kind of? I am not being prejudicial. What kind of race is that? Okay. IGP and a police for me, Kwame. Okay. I don't know any kind of prosecute one. In any case, the state proceedings Act of 555 of 1998 as a sort of the Attorney General Kokotua as a sort of trauma and not be answer our court. Why you didn't comply and as Uncle Plakra who rent no Kura as Shabrega? They are playing to the gallery. Okay. Mountain folk.
Nana.
That is right. He's spot on. On can't be on your beatem. Now, some will call Ghana where Yamudidi and people for a term on Emudidi Akufa. Arabian country. Udio Kanya, no, I'm call TikTok. I say, I'm call TikTok, Dima Tama, and I know maybe will come here. What did Dima Tama can send you for TikTok? Is there? Now, Oma, we have bloggers, and I did the assassin, and I did the assassin. What else? What kind of bloggers back shop their man? Woman, they drink in a home, and my man, I can't see me, some of them. Those bloggers now, we did the assassin. Bloggers now, we did the assassin. Compare TikTok, those bloggers. Now, we are so many mamma make a no. Yaquan, you call him if you're D4, Yaquan, Okodifo. Next mamma, Bosumia, baby, bro.
Mate, Madasiano pay.
So tell those bloggers and say, bring in a year, be everybody there. I walk with God, I eat with God, I drink with God, I sleep with God, I move with God. I don't think if you're just a man, as a lawyer.
Okay, now Madasiano pay.
But we are winning. Nimi Yanko Pon say, but we are Baba Yaman Penini.
Nana Madasiano pay. Nana Madasi.
We are in constant communication with our God.
Nana-
Tina me now so bitter me pa. I get him I saw them in Krata. Me ya me Krata. And me ya mam Krata Janidi.
Nana Medasio.
Problem Kasentia Bia. He was spot on. He was correct.
Nana
Now
Medasio.
me cha Ghana phone now.
Ghana for you so Joe. So.
Man, you just said the man you think I walk around me some man you share.
Na be dia ye dia say.
But I think I've got relegation there.
Oh, there be yanko.
Only since 1972, they be Masada.
Ah.
Now, any of some villa, I don't have a man you pay for you now about pack you.
Ah.
What would you know about pack since 1972? And let's say, my die.
Hey, Mate.
Can I make a Tottenham? The answer no, I master Brighton 2, no, I master my Brighton, and that's so able to catch up 3-2. Into my Tottenham. Into my Cabasa.
Mate. Medasio no pen nana.
Yo, Mr. Medasio.
Nana Obi Boy, former Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, or Emranimni, and I think about 1.7 Sunni, latest form, your partner for life. Mattress, Papa, a latest form. Me Pam Chow, so pay a mattress, ni be a showrooms across the country. Tieni bio, your mattress, your king size, double, 1.5, and the eke kahu enine bi. Na young kwajinan the Ebuai mattress, no, yes, our students' mattress, ni na very firm. We'll pay orthopedic mattress ni be any will be. Latest one for young kunya furniture. Your 1-seater, 2-seater, 3-seater, 4-seater. And they can be. Na yen konya no space be at the basic. Your color be a be, design be a be, say space in a song, say your porch, say your bedroom, say your hall, office, baby. I been young kunya be my anyway near here. Latest for me introduce to MDF bed, wardrobe, side drawers, coffee tables, center tables. And they can be. In the case the latest form, no I just so your partner for life. Me pacho yenye online business. Yeah, the end the showrooms into the showrooms door so no. Latest form, your partner for life. Me pacho end point homeopathic clinic Dr. Duboating. And obewura consulting room ntemti. Ya na wa friend ntem. Na e de be na end point homeopathic clinic ye. Ya de kwankro chronic disease. Utuasie bacho tieni unfa baby o hyehyehye wo so ade ma won say wo so to ayese waye boho hepatitis echiw oba ne be ma mo pawo se wo ulcer fane nyina yare bia filters weapon na se eniyare sciatica de keka hu nyina no diabetes epilepsy nyina no fabra end point homeopathic clinic na Dr. Duboating wo ba wo de mfidi hwe mu na afidi na kire baabi a problem no wo fidi no betwa duro di ama wo aduro a wo twama wo no eye aduro a wo twama wo no eye homeopathy no a any side effect tieni o was spindles will share signboard akra on headquarters no tema computer to do after ajan shekwe wo Port Gardens for listen to the clinic commercial branch krono mabo hia Angel Education School na chipe takwara branch wanaji police station na chipe wabi ebu obono tachima ha yinsa na Dr. Duboating ma mo 30 minutes mon fan friend pamcho 0244 mon friend sisi ya 0244 86 70 68 kan we yare na kire no 0244 86 70 68 0244 86 70 68 0244 86 70 68 end point homeopathic clinic Dr. Duboating eni na ene maboma mane se yeni yewura kwabena aje Japan senior aide edema His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia the campaign yeni be twen komo yewura kwabena Japan ye former general secretary of the New Patriotic Party, former executive secretary Emma Mampenda da akufo na yeni be twen komo enche kwa na mo yewura adoma ko ba fi enso abeka mensa na me mo akwa ba
Mejo so bra.
Ayi Ten Hag ayi for Manchester for e coach wunu anu no ana
Aden.
Musa papa but na no ayi wo mo ni ayi ball draw ai o mo Aston Villa ball draw no obi gina me nchen a o na twe imagine gina so no say ne so papa wo kwa SDA and I say papa bɛ ne kɔ SDA ɔsɛ adoma ko bɛ fi nuani oh mo sɛ Manchester coach no
nipa din sɛ
yɛse nyame kura sɛ nipa dabrobo no mienu
ebi kura de bo ntum sɛ wohwɛ wɔ mo a adɔkotafo papa yi mu ni ade a nipa dodo no awu no yɛ yi a ye no mpeni ade no ebi no adi nsɛ ebo yɛ kuakuo na sɛ kwa mo tuo yɛ se menu apani na ɛnam so menu apani ne Kwame nkyɛ me bia
dabi wo kyɛ me
ɛnam se Kwame adi 85 ne so afre na me di 50 kura nkyɛ
na dey agwa bi na yesu wanyini wase bi nyini yeye no se farisa na sika ne ye gba ama wa ka abeka so opekase na no be bokɔ de
onyame tiase
ami mami van free nkomo yi sei na no wate nkom hye aba na nkonhye no aba nkonhye no ba ye no nipa bi nso so ato challenge na nkonhye no aba sɛ afi mu wene nipa bi sɛ dabi sɛ MPP ko opposition party a God will cease to be God. Na no chama abro nya unu abro nya kura de wadniki akwaja ewo kroniko ade sei na atu sɛ wo apan fa be wo so fa ka ki bra de ahwe de yeko wo ya mimi de ni nkomo ete sei
yo mi da se anope mami nche tifo we de twam hyen mi twam akọ YouTube na me se me fa ha chia wo na me nua pani Kwabena Japan so wo ba nti se pani ba de a me ne ho asem betra ho ache nti monitor na ni gi sem ne se Kwame na osan kama fadie u kan ho asem se eye adwada na mabo white
wa wagum
ma wagum koko mechi
wa sidam koko
Kwame
we subi nso no first class subi nso sele
na wo hwe meche Kwame masadu yabo
cool high
Inshran Kenya me se enne eye His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ni birthday de onyame de papa na beduro no awurade nkoso nhira no ne wani die yie pa se afisese no yenko yese yebedi birthday e vice president nemom yebedi birthday of the sitting president His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia inshallah onyame beye amen papa no nana montuo nyina no wodi nyamesuro wodi oman ho do wodi nukredie wodi anisoade hunu pa wodi nipa ye na wodi ye nadwuma na nyame soso no oboa ne ho campaign wo ye nyina yen ayo atanie so wodi toto yanom dia okania MPP aban yatimi aye ene ne eba wo no so betimi aye enti papa onyankopon twedi ampon otumfo onyankopon na obo wo no onhyira wo na de amede ne se so kan Yakubu nguma na o se onyameso mpa ne so bi kohwe nwisia ne akunafo ana kwa menye sa na tie Yewura Bawumia ne birthday bia no wotena se ene mobrofo titru yenuanom a omya yarefo tse kwatafo ene ono omoye onyankopon bekai so kan Psalm 41 na wose de ohunu mobrofo mobo no ode fam awurade papa na doye ne na botre ne nyansa no inshallah onyame firisuru bitie na se we have precedents to guide us equally ye wonyame adifo nso o hye nkomo ani susu ba mu ani ntiri se me printem na be condemn obi a na ma mfa nyansa anya dwuma na mom de me meka ni se wonyame se a sa nipa na aka na mom abato aka bosumi mienu asemiensa Kwame Ghana fo enchirifo asempa kodo nia Ghana fo chiri pa any lot yire no ensunsanso fo achiri hwe twani hwewachi odane enchiri sie Kwame me no mienu ye sha ase aye ko school yi ni esua history no ni ade no Kwame ni ate STEM education da
dabi
ni ate TVET da utri nka engineer pa na nka utiwe tele no asia ben no utri engineer Yewura dutum me chia no baabi owo bia na Kufuado penso nyame adawro ma abibrem ha nyina STEM education na ofri se Ghana for de beto nchen Kwame ofri se ene America ban na bedi akire Kamala timi gina oka se drones wa na hana bisiu NDC women organizer ka se de betwa no fo no ommmra Ghana mbesua ehun fa nsunsanso Yewura Bawumia adawro ma ɛnɛ Tony Blair timi gyina hɔ ɛma Ghana card otimi gyina so sie mmra Ghana besua President Kufuor ne Yewura Kufuor ne Yewura Atefada Roma ɛne Yewura Bawumiada Roma ɔman no yɛnkasa bibia no yɛtena ho gono so Kwame sɛ ɔkae asɔre bi ɛba ya ne yɛfrɛ no yɛnkɔ na ho gono ɛnyɛ bibia na wie pɛyɛ nanso nhyira nka Nyankopɔn sɛ wote faako ato adeɛ so yɛmfa ntoto even wɔn a mokɔ Turkey yɛmfɛ Turkeyfoɔ ni bi na kwa ma nka wɔn a mo America yɛmfa ntoto yɛmfo mo amanya ɔmatwe ɛho asia yɛmfa ntoto anya hwe kura no bamba ɔmampani Akufo ade Yewura Bawumia Yewura Kandapa mo ahyɛ mu kena ɛyɛ terrorist enya kwan enwuram ɛka yanom nko anka wɔn no mato kɛsɛ amya bedi abɔne no onyame adawroma sɛ ɔyɛ asomdwe a ɛno yɛ sika wodu anka de bɛyɛ nneɛma mebree no yɛ de boy asomdwe ho ban na ntɔkwa na buru obi so nti no ɔmo nenam na Kwame ɔno video ano so ego viral sɛ me sɔfo pani a me pena sempa Duncan Williams ne babema no wɔde abetu dwa sɛ ne papa na orchestrate data yi no mu nyina akohia ɔno ɔkyerɛkyerɛ m sɛ adeɛ na akotia ma amenti no ɔmo mfa kwan bi so oh I have the video here
na sa ne ba no na edu web no yare kakra no
oh na ne ba ne yare
boy bi no
minim de na sɛ sɔfo pani ɔno bɔ mpa yɛ san yare de
oh da bi ete fa so atese de ye
na sɔ pani ɔbɔ mpa yɛ man nkrofo nto ɔmo de ɔno ani de mu ana ɔsanfo a wɔnsa ne ho ana ba ne ba no na bɛkan na nsia so ɔne ne ba de twa picture ogina hɔ kama
saa kwara no na meka no
na sɛ na nsia ɔne ne twa kama
no ɔwɔwɔ no nyina o
ba na nsia ɔne ne twa kama ya wada nyame asɛ sɛ fe de ne ho atɔ
ya
enti kane na ɔwɔ ne ho no de a bia nke bɛgye atom ne mom ne de ya me de ɛwɔ MPP
na video no yɛ de video a
o sɛn
video no yɛ de video
ya wo ka nyina ne sɛ ne papa ɛna orchestrate sɛ ɔfra asɔfoɔ no ɛde to wɔn mu anim ɛsɛ asɔfoɔ no megyina na wɔn nyinaa no yɛmfie nsangu Yewura mama so me mpasa magye adi sense Reverend Duncan Williams I respect him so much neti
ba ne ba na abɛka
ne ba no kwa me video yi wa ha me wi ama me pushi mfama
ayo
ɛno de nka bɛ ha me na me de na ha me kakra ne sɛ yɛka asɔfoɔ a ɛwɔ kuro yi mu a kwa me SD asɔfoɔ akuku damo
pa
Methodist asɔfoɔ kukudam Pentecost asɔfoɔ kukudam Baptist asɔfoɔ kukudam Assemblies of God ya Yewura mama na akra ko bien akukudam me nguma baako ɛyɛ Professor Paul Frimpong Manson the immediate past the overseer ona otwere forward
yeah
all
papa.
These people are there ɛyɛ den na saa asɔfoɔ yi no ya ngusira gu ɔmo so a yafa nguma suam devoid of politics ma hunu sa mpanimfoɔ bi wɔ hɔ ma hunu bi oho enti ano so sisi maso
oh that be but say the religious purpose no to say Reverend Sam Kwachi Ankra Prophet Naji Gezi the me am so for the men who so for Baduko bi say be otu kwan na wan bi
na say Naja Gezi me dem hu ni di nimpo boda
Nigel Gezi
before then any after that no wagye asim ama campaign na wo ye no ama a destroy the nanka be the beauty of it no eni say no obi anu say partisan ayi but nyame asem no mu gina so enti me ntwe makonya mu ayi na embomu no say no kredi a onyame na aka na nya no kredi a nea wo gina asem so adi asema che nyame no eye no me enye ono nko a na emom twira ne se wona ba ene de behu wonsu menua epani osu bempa ye nyina asantefo I love him I respect him menina nanteda pa nyanchen ya no no so pemasem asem ba ko na mienu bi so me frɛ no di nkomo firi wo no menua mfrɛ me biem enti na Akufo ado wene ye na me hia no ka me twam eno ma ni nua na akwasi frɛ me na so pani uchira futuo ti me de madam ho so efiri obepem na me ne nya efiri biem but he's a good man enne se nyame ayi a kire no de ne sakogu mama so a afutuo kakra America no Kwame eye Samuel ngoma no etrem ye no chichemu aduasa miensa
First Samuel
chapter 3 2 Samuel chapter 3 verse 33 verse 33 okay ase aha na efa Abna ho emra Abna wu ye no
First Samuel
chapter 3 verse 33 2 Samuel chapter 3
okay
verse 33
Okay, asama wo ni.
Yeah.
2 Samuel chapter 3 verse 33.
Sure.
Or say Okay, verse 33 mpacho mwa.
Or say na ohine bi
Mamenkan verse 33. Na okra Abner wo Hebron. Na ohine ma ne ni susu Abner da no. Da so. Na oman no nyina sui. Verse 33. Na ohine be Abner ho kwadum yi se. Oye yentwe wuo na Abner wuo yi. Wanchekere wo nsa da. Na wanto wo nan mpokere da. Se woto amumuye ma anim ena wato yi.
Na oman nyina
ko so sun bio.
Eno ne afutu amede bema me nua pani.
Aha.
I love him as a for brantie nani ate.
Obi anwi.
O say?
Obi anwi.
Meba. Onim say Abner akodi odi saying Saul achi. Edi akaka bensam akansam ahodo edi atia odi saying wo mo a no mo di David achiri. So de baye die mu a emra opani e hye nkom no me de nyanya atwom na ya MPP for ebinom de ana me bo ana. Na mbom de na me giri se SDA for nso bo mpaye Pentecost for nso bo mpaye. Enti enam dodo nchiri yi. Enti nye ne na me bedwuna condemn no. But the point I'm trying to stress is say sabre no say mama nsa gumoja na wontimi ni bio da.
Oh, but any na di nkomo.
Onyame nyensa chiri nsa yam. The video is there, but the American says sasem no kan. What is say Ashanti region Kwame ba. Eya DC fo ni bi asori e de atia. Emra Abner ekodi Saul achi eye niema enseso ye di tia David Nkrofo no. Na Saul wu ye no. Oba David won wodi akomapa je no. Wodi akomapa je no se na ne Nkrofo ni ba yi omo ya so betua no so re. Na emom ba bia no wo no de na adwane kosha bia kuro. Enti so omo de bibia ye no a wo mo nsoso no wo mo atomra. Ana omo pretend fa na adamfo. Ana ne yure fi ne ho. Etu anu omo nam ena me gidi pa ye pa se no omo bonsem kwa Abner ha ye ni o. Emire bi sika bia oto ye kura ka ye de atwa eti. Meje di se ni nyina ne ka ho. Na ne yure fi ne ho. Wa nane aboa peta nwunu se ba bi owo no nipa beku ni nti no e so hwe ye didi sumina so. Na ne ti ye no wa travel no. E ho no omo stable no ye wo ne se ka ma ni wuye. Eti se Julius Caesar any Brutus ne Cassius. Enti ye ho David obiase David na ku no. David ti ye no ene wo kwa ne ho ntwema. Okoye no se Abner ajedentwe wo no awuei ya nchekere wo nsa ya nchekere wo na onan. Minua no so long as his nyameti ase no obekọ so aye ne nyamedwuma. Na emom no anya so akwahye nkom nti no na ne yuru ayafiri ne ho. Because huri yatirim mpamoja. Nia waka da no eda wo mutirim. Yanom so de yenim de wo betimi aye onu akura di nwa danse se pani no akwahye nkom no ne nsa gumoja.
Eno de wabeka na wahase.
Sesen.
Nyame etimi ka se obese wiase. Ena echire okaso obese ni niwe. Echire ni niwe for bompa wanse no. Enti bibia si ama saade no efiri ni.
Bible move from Genesis to Revelation. Babia no nyame aka ode da asoso. Because yewura menua pani. I love him. Woni mniema me na ye ya nante. Enti ya me ya se ye nkrofo ni bi nsoso a wo mo kra de ye direct beneficiaries a wo mo anya wo mo afiri osu bempa wo no ene wo mo kutia no. Ya me ya
Why?
Menua sabe ye keka funu ni ye keka madam pan. Enipa Kwame na to nsa didie. Wonu atimi de ka ache yen ni botom sika no. Asamba yesi se sabe okani anaga na ni odi adwini a se kama yi obi na so Kwame Nkrumah nti me di ache wo. Se wa nwine ne sa oti ase antoa na ase asem abenti wo so ka de a. Me di afutuo na me de bema menua no. Ese sabe
uni oy
osofo usu bempa. Se onya botre na ja won tutuna na monye ono de nkomhye na asie no waka na mom wonhwe ye no ankowu agegentwe wuo
dabi woni wo mo nam wo wo se komhye na o hye no de awurade no asem waka
dabi men kaso no mo nam wo na mom ono aye sofo pani otufuo yi na me so me asore ba yi a me so betufuo yi opani nkyira futuo awrefre na de ofri se Abner okoye no Kwame Abner okoye no ano no ofri se ombeku no ya damfo enne badu kobi mo mama twa mo agya ɛna sɔfoɔ bi a wɔn bu ama wɔtwe wɔn nyinaa gya ɛna owusu bɛmpa ɛna ogyina no so deɛ in itself no koraa no in a way no you are also courting hatred but sɛ mo de bɛgyina hɔ na mba yɛ te sɛ deɛ Ghana yɛ kristofoɔ man a Ghana ɛnyɛ kristofoɔ man o yɛ dɔɔso nkramofoɔ nso so dɔɔso enti campaign no ɔmo yɛyɛ no wɔn ayɛ wie because sɛ me yɛ SD ni deɛ a na me sɔfoɔ a mabi deɛ a asɔfoɔ efiri hin Adventist mate sɛ me yɛ Methodist ni deɛ a asɔfoɔ kuku dam wɔn ni Bible mu apostle wɔn nyina mo Pentecost foɔ revered men of God wɔn nyina nkɔ bio ɛne yɛ celebrity group bi ne yɛde kɔɔyɛ but wɔn si nyame asɛm enti mɛhwɛ yie no ma no ampa na mmom deɛ meka ne sɛ onyame nkyirifo asɛm pa kɔdo obua ho an obua wo yewura ba wo mie kan ya yetimi ayɛ ɛne wo kan ya ba obetimi akɔyɛ ɛne oyɔnkɔ nso nam no so so wɔtoto ayampia odi atem na deɛ menwanwa ne sɛ saa nipa kro yɛ yewura mama ɛbɛ na otwe mienum yɛ nsantam ni ubegyina o condemn asɔfoɔ ne ayi abosonsomfoɔ yɛ nananum ɛne yɛ nuanom nkramofoɔ ɛne yɛ nananom ahemfonom egu ɔmanim ase na wadane anom akokone ɛna de ade akyen ya wabegyina ɔse yamfie nsam wusu a sampa bo no nyame onye nsakirinsayam we should be consistent na ade a yenye no Kwame chiri kokodi ni ma Kwame chiri kokodi ni ma oti ase ensuo a yanom no yantum nsu a enti asɔfo kro ye ya odi binom atem no ɛna de asɔfo ya na Kwame wo mabegyina aye bompa ya ma Kwame asam no nyangwanwa me article bi ametwa me say the mockery of a mocker wonu atwetwefo no onu ankasa no ya twetwe ye wadi asɔfo atem na ansa na anu ekowi ase de asɔfo me bompa ye mfa ma onyame chiri nya atwom onyame
enu de na ɔka sɛ momo hu sɛ nipa yi amamuo no wabu amu ne yie enti wamu ne yie na ho akyere wo no obɛba wanimu no abɛka akyere ne sɛ we nyame nhyira wo ɔse abanfo o use the word abanfo ɛna weesu no wɔno no sese no afei no obɛba aban mu ɛna nyame yi akyere na sɔfoɔ wɔn ka so wɔn mɛhyira no
Kwame yewura mama wayɛ tosom ɛde ama NDC sɛ bia nipa foforo bi mpo de ba ayɛ de a ebia nka de ɔka ne bɛtɔ asomu yenum na nkasa ɔmra buo nyina ne edi kan ukogina Joy FM sɛ obia ne obetimi de mfie 9 akyekere ɔman no na ba wo ba bia wi no we de wo mfie 9 no ɛyɛ sunsun mu ade ana asɔfo abɔmpa ya ma untira na wanum asɛm se na twere ne se yenam bebu a obem de atoso mienu sɛ nipa kro yie Kwame ɛsa kogina hɔ yewura mama ekogina hɔ ɛma ne nsema wɔ kan nyina no ɛnɛ no ntɔkwa na bere ne so ɛnɛ sɛ utie ni tape ba ko a ɔkɔ osire mu ɔkɔka wɔse enkura wie sku ayenya dwuma nye no obi asɔfo abampa ya ma wutumi gyanya me anim atwa adane ho obla 2012-2016 yamfa teacher ni betem na kufu ado ba ye
under IMF conditionalities
na se yɛhwɛ kwa IMF ɛno na kyerɛw sɛ wo ha de beba nemom it takes a great and a wise person you are able to navigate our issues through and intiate me for nipa ana kwa mebo ana yes ya kwa IMF yes ya kwa Kwame enti dia no pa kyerɛ enne yewura mama timi kogina hɔ ekoka galamse hu asɛm na nyanwanwa pa sɛ yewura mama odi nyina hi bauxite edi ma wunua sa kufu ado kofa koma ne nua bomtia na odi koma odi sɛ Gabia enkeja betom enso so no nyina hi bauxite agye no na kufu ade gye no chebi wa ni kan kwa bibi wo ho emre di kan ya flyover kɛse abasirem okoye ne ho sika na bi no odi kosi district hospital e wo bole mama krom he had been a member of parliament for 12 years not even a single project entiminia baby akoduro na ne nsɛm na wo ka no anu odin na de amnwa ba ko on there I've taken a vow Kwame eye ne running mate Kwame eye ne running mate mia me mame Kwame eye ne running mate eye mia me mame eye Professor Nana Genopoku ai Kwame woye me mame preko pe
Opoku adwuma
ani ntiri me to ana na mmom nneɛma akwa me ɛkɔ so ame maame na nkasa kɔgyina wo ka asɛm bi ndi anya nokorɛ sɛ me maame bɛgyina wa bɛka kyerɛ sɛ nyɛ ɔne free SHS yɛntwam ɔde sɛ nurses and teachers allowance yɛntwam ei ɔba pani wɔn mo nyam so
ɔmo twa mu sa restore
restore wɔ hen emra yewura mama no ankasa sɛ ne wura fie ɔmpete po no ɛbɛgyina ɔka sɛ so ɔbɛlusu kura na ɔnlusu na deɛ ɔde na yato hɔ me maame no ɔwɔn I love my mother I respect her because yɛnyini bɛyi nyina no Kwame yɛhunu sɛ amanyokuo no obiara wɔ ne yɔnko ne nenam wonim sɛ da rocha na ne yɔnko baako paa ne kwadwo chikata na kufu ado ne namfo nom enti nye yɛn ɛne yɛbɛyɛ am ya kyerɛ pusamu akɛseɛ na mmom me maame with this ne deɛ ɛnyɛ no korɛ obia na wɔne ɔka kyerɛ sɛ obi mmra mɛkyirim yɛwura ba omi aka adomako ba afi me nuru ba bia maka enti ada na bɛka se yɛntwam ɔbro no ankasa de na ne presidency to chacha ne koduru ba bia onu so alusu awie no afɛ de allowance ne yɛ table so
na mka sɛ ɔsare story no
mesrɛ no korɛ yɛ no korɛ ɛkɔm de wɔmfiɛnsa mmienu ne di adeɛ baako ma ba omia yɛ ba omia na me nua mpanimfoɔ te sɛ Kwabra Japan mu di na kyie ni sɛ wɔyɛ vision leader ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɛko ɛno ɛsa ɛnan ɔban wɔso ɔba wɔde bank wakyerɛkyerɛ kwan yɛ galamsey ɔbɛyɛ ho adwuma me maame nkɔ bie na no a ɔso ɔmo bebie bank de amama ei NDC ma bank na wura fi maame ya no ɔma soro gɔde sɛ Kwame
sadinam tema
ya wɔno sika ɔfa nkɔma yɛ nuanom kantamantofo apatahyɛ ɔde dwane yɛyi na wo no akora no sia na mo wie akora no wɔno wawe so no na ɔbɛnyine de anya tromo NDC for bank sadi no matam bi de na ɔma yi mu adebɔne bi aka bibia yɛ ma ho no ɛyɛ NDC for owura fi agya bebi wɔ kanse na ɔnya NDC ni ana meboa na ɔnya NDC ni yɛn yadwene na ɛwɔ hɔ no no menua we have the history ne yɛnim kora no bi a yɛbo ɔma yi bia menua ɛyɛ ma na abɔ no yɛ NDC abam ɛnɛ wo so bɛte bank na Kwame jetom wo kra obom bosia amade akro obom bosia na jetom ho Kwame mame fansia na menua pani aba ya wo mo ne didi wo mo na ase ankakra yɛn hia duru sei ani tia de bania no apra oda nkyemba memobɔ na me wura ntrase
mate
bra kwaba
ya da sepa you right Adomako Befi former communications director of the new Patriotic Party na ina na twen komo no na okɔ UTV timbetimi akɔhwɛ no na natare na efe papa nata na efe na ye home so aba ye ba ye de encombation ye wura Kwabena Japan wono nso watena se engineer Kwabena Japan former general secretary of the new Patriotic Party senior campaign aide Edma Yewura Baumia Otu Franka Ediama Osu Kwamanyuku no ye home so aba
Okay, FM 101.7.
Ama intinimdi a wo adepam ne semna yemu se wo be wankasa wodwuma enka emmoa hwe ewo economy we mu NPP abaye ne timudi a waso ato agu yensu sei media mempese to obekumi ansa na mebra so
hwe won wasema making bet kakra me di enti ayateme no
ne Kwame eka ne de ye no ano no me ma me kwa mentimi nsende ne skama ne mfa nto eduro esai 11
na no oluma kai ya woto ya woka asemi nkoyi wo port emfa be ubei eto am twia wo port wo no COVID-19 nyina aka ho
Kradia enya me wanwa se otrofo na okase obeyi free taxation de akọ production no ene wode to ekum ye wo mai musa me de maye madwen dada se afi joma ama ne NDC na metoma ba ma wo esane se me wogidie woni mu ne bohye nyina mu o se enyuma nkuma wo beyi VAT free wo mo so yenya afa ne ye bi enyuma te se me de se enfie mienu edi nkan no ye ntua to o se 11 ne betting tax ne nwisie to nyina wo beyi free wo ma ye komu ahan me Mahama Samudi, Esam say, why you beat that?
Charlie, could you win in the hole? A fee and sacre mena shot to Abaman Sacre, Papa, to Abama John Mahama and NDC.
Kwame, me wow. Me ba penny can know any my dear pa. Naso na say buan or bon. Me jini one mentiasi.
Na so we dey simple gra. Fanuko White Stone Dental and Eye Care. Na yen checking any man.
Oh, jai samani abrewate. Me ba bona make us much was me Fanuko Eye Care Clinic.
Na wonnim se enkwada bi wonu mo a. Wo de sua enkoyi nyina no efi wani. Akwada bi wo a abra teacher ni kira de no. Won hu ade ni yi. So wo tie ni ma na so wo tie akire. E ba ne sa. Fanubra White Stone Dental and Eye Care. Ni yenye nhwehwemu mfa na ni no ho how bia entam so yebebe na esi ano ama no
ayampa o na sekro ne yade no eba emonka ye wadwe yo se bibia ye fine wo be ko na bibia ka echi na wani sei na sekro masate se wono momoja broso na esi che yade no aya na momani yade pa
sa pepepe onipa bia kra no afimu wankwa check up awani ho kra no enyem prenu why Stone Dental and Eye Clinic say fa wono wabusua nyina ebra na yenye hwehwemu emfa mani ene mo se ho how bia no yebehwe na esia no e de amamo ye wo abafun fidie ultra modern diagnostic machines ahodo a ye de ye san hwehmu no ye dwuma efo nso de wani wote enti ba ye beje o felso why Stone Dental and Eye Care e wo East Legon ye be MTN office kese no free was 024 225 1983 and 024 045 2992 why Stone Dental and Eye Care Wenni Ano Kania.
In fact, you can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Anokwa ejam fama boma kokoto ada ho eti enei exchange rate no ena Dr. Baumia ne MPP ada pedia na December bosume ekona wie ye 2016 no na sika wuhia de $1 ba ko ye 4 Ghana cedis enei wuhia cedis mako dunsia ansa no $1 ba ko esa ne cedi na hoɔden a aba fom nti enyuma bebre gugu dodo no so ahwere sika botina wade ye adwuma enye nkrofo we ne ka yeti sika so na nso ekomo de yen
yeti sika so o manya ohia man nam amamu a enkoyi eti ekom de
Ghana fo ebro esane se adechie bia yeto nuema buomu sa hokyerei ewo ho eda ne ho adi yasetere mu adechie bia ensakra yemrenenie to abama John Mahama ne NDC
Okay, FM 101.7.
Okay, 101.7 so any ebusianfo yeda so etsi edwaso na said ye share mo bono yewura engineer Kwabena Akye Japan de nanimu nyam aba na ye baba betwetwe enkomo fro onua na onua so mfro onua na ye ntie na enkomo ewo ho papa wo former general secretary of the New Patriotic Party, senior campaign aide His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, former executive secretary Emma the then President Kufuor nature say party ni ba party ni mu pa che say wadi mu entinti man na ye ne de enkomo ehye so bra me mo achi munya mic ni ye mame okay
Ejoso
na ohuna mu to say
nyame adom
yo
ebre na wo msuso
ebre wo me say there I all play all that's it na mami musa woni His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mo aba nan akọ omayi ene aka 2 months pepepe ne 2 months na omayi to aba e form to say
ansa na me yi wano Kwame and I was say and exactly 2 months and October 7 and this is na oda
Dr.
Bawumia awoda and me fa kwanya so I wish him a very happy birthday. In fact me post to be on my Facebook page wishing him well sre nyankopon bambo and ya hoden man because adwuma no edi so why a campaign that said yemu biya ye dana na ohwe se okọ babia no okase bedu baby kra na woni kra no udum se woni no na apan. It is not easy, but I think that we appreciate the kind of work ethic we will be a opejumadin and he's very determined. I mean anaju anopo, I mean once he's set his sights on doing something, the level of dedication and determination are all shown. What I'm impressed about him especially is also very meticulous. And it is part of a plan I roll it out. Say November yana elected. The opponent had been elected 9 months previously.
Okay.
One more time how many so once Dr. Bawumia was elected, put together a campaign team
put together a manifesto team. Rolled out the program across all the 16 regional capitals, the first phase of his campaign. And that's where he put together a friend stakeholders consultation. So, I made politics from a Dubai in time. I've never seen a political leader. He wants to bring every
1992, 93 now.
Oh, me they say 1997
Wow.
Mate. Now the name can say obefre asofo wo krum ho no afre nkremofo wasan afre zongo chiefs wafre ahemfo beauticians, hairdressers, tailors, fitafo nsano adwumafo. He puts them together in stakeholder consultations around the country. Since independence, woman fee and penny for be no moon ni say and cremofone asofo bitima tranada akumukra aye meeting. But because YSID is brought some brotherly feeling to the extent that tama omugwechi we no kra baby o hwane no mkugwechi we ubonsa asofo ons no invite him ni nyina we come and break bread and break the fast together. And assemble kwa ya o come kai say meneno call room or pay courtesy call on Pope Francis. Pope asemo kan say adia ni so e Ghana no hu bi babia say the religious tolerance Ghana ne your maya yesrain the peace in this country in ni hokwa religious tolerance no account for a lot of it. So because we don't see ourselves as enemies. Enti o shene den se okwa onto aso a ono as a Muslim no aba the head of the Catholic Church nin bedin komo din inshira mano bompaye mano because Ghana is the only place that owns a chief imam 100 years utimi ko Catholic Church e bompaye mano baby I can talk abisi enti we have a beautiful country. So intimate the name be nipa bi ye just because of political expediency. Say politics in tea or minor and shit and say it been mustati and they want the Kenyan example or her and Tokwensi Nigeria protests near the na Ghanaians are not angry enough. Metisa kasana na a my dream back to where we came from as a country because Kwame am say nipa pi refi ushe statistics of this country, the demographics, they have not experienced the difficulties. Ghana ye firm the journey that Ghana traveled and san ebedru baby edri. Na yemu bia ne yem rantia. In 1979, yehu the coup. 1981 coup. 1982 enye course wo Ghana ha. Over 500 people died and are still unaccounted for. So Murefia, Ghana Black Stars, new coach be. Your friend BB Bismarck. Or some be a brew hina and I said, yeah. Oh. One who say chino, it couldn't up to now any body down.
Yeah, one body.
I'm telling you, there were many. It's just a matter of a beer. Me papa in the 3 High Court judges. There's a few lawyers who had the courage at that time. Peter Lajete, Samukujeto, BJ Daruchanum. Those days, almost say, almost be celebrity anniversary kekekra. It mean mobilize cadres. Eko buon Reverend Santenchu.
Yeah, Reverend Santenchu. Of the Methodist Church.
Omutigu. Enti we have to know say yese okoto we onwanoma. And we should recognize the history of this country. Inti one way no musi a kind say one more background and he no more free. What has been their mentality? So one more impose curfew on this country, killed the night economy in this country, including the entertainment industry. Unum say Ghana yeda curfew mu for about 6 years. So would there be an usa?
Aye,
a bands.
And a baby or cranwa 5 o'clock. Next will be a dough.
Eda. Intiene almost sorry, near some person running economy around the clock. I'm saying, we are senti no say refi ade
o say careful
one more ebegu the night economy and they are talking about okay say refi I see don't get he was a deputy minister of agriculture under that administration. So over 350 enterprises, state enterprises. Because me bodia me say state hotels, say Black Star Line, say a friend bebre catering rest houses nyina. Omu gu ni nyina ton my ho. So when these people are now talking about say the ejuma beba jobs, Ghanaian jobs were collapsed under their watch. Nti media nkolana ne omutimi kasa te say MPP ni NDC adekro MPP ni NDC enya adekro at all. Their history started from the coup of 1981 when a democratically elected president Liman tunuguye.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not Palestine was say this is not a coup, it's a house cleaning exercise.
You know, as I'm crying, yeah, they travel together. But important say as Ghanaians, especially here near Mrantia, we always have to go back and look at our history. Because the one should be a free bar, one here, if you don't look at your history, in the history, you should learn lessons. To guide your steps going forward. Who can any be a binomoka? Say Ghana no ye betuaba. All of a sudden, ye create impressions ye betuaba wo BBC. Debbie, we've had peaceful elections for over 30 years. 1992 krani achichiri ensa aguyechi. Register kra musimu mie. Register issue 1988 to say any year 92 elections. Musimu mie. And then me share the omo kan about registers near there. And I just say massacre afim. Do these people mean well? And I say no, they just want to ride on.
Oh, but the register no one say illegally. You transfer bimudi ko. Binim 50,000 woman
I'm saying almost a meeting or electoral commission IPAC to provide this evidence. It may be say a few mistakes have been made, which is sure, and they're human a. And so to me high any eka asem na obia sorry a yenu an masofu ni bikra to the bia. I think say there is fear mongering going on in this country. Only a passenger, any a passenger. Why nem passenger? Why nempe asumji? Those who want to disturb the peace in the country by creating chaos. So omo GDS say abaye betu ombe wenia. Say you need to protect the sanity of the environment. Say when ya oman bi a oba betraso. Then so they took it for granted say because of the economic hardships, difficulties abantino. Oma winie we cabinet positions achicha cry say aye reshuffles be me no.
Only I can say that can say omo ya sa ni nyai.
So Baumia to see from one who say yes, this is a new candidate. The Baumia is going to lead a new chapter in Ghanaian politics. That is what he's promising the Ghanaian people. Na Mijidi said, "Do no aso ajinedi say oyobia o hwe ne life. Obi ofri wale wo no tamale. O call primary school Saka primary anymore.
Tamale.
Saka one call mo dadama school CB o call Saka primary.
Okay.
Enti onimform or a breakfast so. Ni papa wo nipa 19. Say 17 etiase. Now the kind of religious harmony woni monum MC free in collaborate because ne mame no ye Methodist or one of his informer na educated don ba Wesley girls na obe ware ne papa na otene
anti na mame na nkasa nye
yes
Muslim
or ware na otene into Muslim do ko mu fia nipa 17 na aka no 9 Christians na 8 Muslims.
Okay.
Inti Quran and the Bible de idea na wo mu fie. Inti nyese bia tumia or peno. Inti na ne one ya Christopher shia na sese. Ono amu wo sha no not the same. Yin na ne ye brigaders, boys Methodist boys brigade. Me Crowfro Methodist na was road. me na nam boba na edition esi manim se na
ayi wo ba down where me down where ni wow
so na nam papati go from pa
okay
baby on the Baptist church bi o
Baptist church Mr. Yebo aho
so those days na be a community house eja yen kwa na akoye say dada makakra
say what there dada mafo
because of me na me pe a form 90 do me na for kwab 19 no akosi echampo no ne ade anopa na be fa na what years so ame na wonam ha fitem ne ade nyina ye hunu and you have a candidate who has lived like an ordinary Ghanaian. Otimi koye ba day time omunya holidays. So, while ye adwuma wa fom da. He knows how it is to go through difficulties. Onya pini call abuchiri oka taxi to support his education. Okodru Canada. No adwuma warehouse. Oswane mane ade nyina. Na Nyankopon edina fofie kakra odi be Central Bank. Ye adwuma rises to the point of deputy governor. In a 24-hour, President Akufo-Addo, then candidate Akufo-Addo, Ebefano, so Omeye running mate. For 16 years now, the life has changed. So, enti Ushene life so nobody up to now. He's got very strong personal integrity. Obie ni ho ne ba umia assign. Aka ne ho asembone da. Na adwumam bank de senka ho na sika wo. Oye vice president or called Zimbabwe, other international jobs, or call Oxford. Nina be didn't want dance, papa.
But the end is for the bonus of bonus say. President Kufuor Ekofana Ban was see one economist. It is a sububia bana, which ba economy no anko ya, Yanfa Subonum.
Nasa on Casame and Fasobonum. And as February 7, Muti and Asemokai.
Yeah.
He has never run away from the fact that we are going through economic difficulties. Ubiankasa. Nansu so ye pubi or tiasia obitima take years out of it and point our way forward. Mijidis between the top candidates and the Ubian Mseba will do a much better job. Look, any panis word do you know? And MPia or Kaino, Usheni book or Troy 2010. A lot of the things that he mentioned, just say he looked in from school. I'm quite your motto. I say dream shekan. He had the vision for the future. So he talked about a digital economy, and then all over the world, the way the digital economy is really driving economies around the world. Inti oplesi emphasis on that, and no say o jane every economy. We all know say. Before COVID struck, 2022, the economy spiraled out of control. Media many places, and I still stand by it. So I think the president should have intervened much quicker in those days and taken some action on those who were managing the economy at the time. You see, it's important that we recognize that as a country, we need to build a new phase of politics. Politics of propriety and no kreka and in him dear ni siku fancy no enfrim yodium no and no na eha omai because ade bi kosto kra na nya obeka se omi party ni nti no ontimi nka you cannot need diem it should be allowed. That's how we build a country. We have a country to build. So in na politics a friend aman yosem yeah omai no ye ti hia omo onim dear ewo tema ewo do tina de bia. I always hash on the 3 S's na meka triple S: service, sacrifice, selflessness. And uhwe papa ni subanya ewo enti media migidi se emre na so uhwe nsem a wo ka the clarity of his thought, the direction he wants to take the country. Me feel say he's well armed with the skills to lead this country into a new era. New ideas, new dimension. That is very important as a country because a kwanya ya fire who say ene nipa no dodo no fancy politics no de aye dabre aduane bi ne ye bedidi ne ache. That is not sustainable. and say yeah politics n'anim no yeah make sure say saa suban no free wa enye. And that's why I'm happy say he's going to set the right example, or say he's going to cut down government, which is very important. Significant because it sends a strong moral message. Ma obi ehunu say n'ani abre is not job for the boys. Well, he came out first and said he would have 50 ministers. He's reconfigured his ministries and he's prepared to run. Although I felt a 54 would have been a good figure. Mahama is talking about 60. Fine, I'm happy. So he's saying that. But he has had the opportunity to be president. Yeah, Musane say, one of the already president. In fact, he completed the term of Professor Mills. And son only full 4 years. Now those 4 years, ideas now all kind of not anyone now. And now better if you 8 years now when you fresh ideas now. That's the question. We was given his opportunity. Or not here, he was president. The buck stopped at his desk. Bawumia has not been president. Only a president da. Obebwa na nado danko ekufado. When the Juma oyim. But of course, it makes good politics for them to heap everything on Bawumia's head. But Ghana for sebi omu nimde. Until they can tell the difference with those who are doing mere politics. And they said the Galamsey and Semia all of a sudden because the Galamsey and Ra and they started with Ghana. Me running my campaign in 2022. I made a lot of noise about Galamsey. I didn't hear anything from any religious leader, not from the UTAG, not from anybody. They were not interested. I even called for a moratorium on surface mining. Okay. So, yeah. So, in those days, because I looked at the destruction of the environment, and I said it's not only about government and politicizing it, but your regulatory framework, Minerals Commission, your Forestry Commission, one of essence releases.
Said we can mine in the forests.
How?
There is an ally.
See who promoted that ally. And I even expressed my displeasure. I said, President should take firmer action on that. Because you can say secure baby as forestry near there. And I say a forester. It's part of the ecosystem to protect the environment and protect our people. So, yes, na abechichire in Ghana ha. So, binya penindia. Then nipa kutukutu no form. Ti ntimi nkanya nsasem nkyere no ntimi ntunifu fupa na chese de bia no ade a emwa oman no ene ye last week ya na call Western region the three are Memphis and Dunkwao. The situation is serious, and never be had the impression being created by NDC need some civil society actors as if say MPP for na it is not true. It is wrong to say that yes. The eventual responsibility lies at the desk of the president as the leader of the country to take firm action. And I think on that score, I agree. He should have taken firmer action and punished a few people to send a strong signal. No, a Nkrumah for Nkrumah to Kwayako, Obia Kujina Kona baby, who names a gold wo so no one's what is a beer area. Gold no mutu to form. So they're devastating the greenery. Mr. Demi environmentalist. Inti mi husi ebudua na me yema shime. Ebudua bia na me yema shime. So, and these are the things that we want to see. None of these people spoke about this matter. In fact, in the 2020 elections, John Mahama himself was there saying publicly, the videos are available. One more machichi mwatumuno, yeba ebeyimo, mawabeye.
Based on the premise set, was it the King Kong from the Kingpins, no?
Well, that campaigns no, you cannot talk like that as a political leader. Because when you encourage wrongdoing, you are encouraging wrongdoing. At least the president tried using arms stopping whatever it is. It didn't work. And I came out openly and said that the fight against Galamsey seems to have failed. Because me, an engineer, all I need are results. If I go and take a sample from the river, and this is what he's saying, I don't care whatever you've done before. Result, need hear me. That's how we train as engineers. And if the results show, say, the measures, then we have to call that into action. So, but nobody showed interest in it. And all the things that we have barely 60 your friends say 60 days to elections. My campaign is going. I told you is going nowhere. They are being lazy about it. Whilst look,
yes, submarine.
Oh, dear submarine. Campaigns here in a submarine. Dear submarine. Submarines or money namase disika man crofos or money demonstration or creating chaos in our country and make the country ungovernable. And these are statements that have come from senior leaders, which I found surprising. So, what confidence over when you want the country to run, but having gone around, say no feel say. I mean, there were some of them who were calling and say, "Oh, mun prepare more notes now, mun free aben money ade." They had taken it for granted that they had won the election. Yes, because Ghanaians were going through difficult economic times. I know the age in him. Me top petrol ni bi, me top electricity ni bi. Me nka aban ho. I'm an ordinary, normal Ghanaian, so I feel the pain of every Ghanaian. The Ghanaian come bi, I me fam bi. Until when we speak with authorities and no, this cannot be right for the country. You can't say. You expect some nipa but before also na you fight it so that we can have some change in direction either from government policy and I say I made 3 statements. It got to a point where I said, look, media have never been a friend of mining, even mainstream mining, because obuasi no mni ade betra ho long road no mni abrofu yetete London, Johannesburg, Australia. Mining is a cartel. Canada, UK, Australia, South Africa. Ukohwe omufie woman 2 gold no man my 3%, 4%. And MC can come. And I said it. So if we cannot exploit our resources to the benefit of we the Ghanaians, yenyai. So I've never been a friend of mine. And who womunya more 4-5 fold. Apart from that, even in Ghana right now, there's something serious that has been happening. Unum say gold exports, no, mineral exports, no economy. Who calculated the official declarations and the to the main destinations of say India and Dubai and Omniadia about 4 times different. So
India.
Yeah.
You call you sika export de akọ no. Uba ye nkrata mu ha. Enya no.
I don't make catch no. So there's a lot going on now. As genuine patriotic Ghanaians, we should be worried about.
Now,
precious minerals for those, the customs officers, and all the systems that we have to put in place to make sure, say, one, adina production no mutun. How do we know? Nancy a call campaign or north. Na minim say, upper east over 6 Chinese mines were Chinese mining companies. Minam catch walls about 10 meters high. The echoes inside. And Nancy Kramit is almost on Bezombi Airport. Bogatanga. Emma MC Minister no be Air Force. Hey, I did almost 2 years. No, the airport beside I said almost 2 years.
2
years. Nipa catch there. As he teen trasa. We've got to investigate properly and have a handle of the whole architecture surrounding mining in this country. Anti-mining in Africa, sure. They come and just pilfer our natural resources. And those are the things we as Ghanaians and patriots should be worried about. Intermediate mining in itself, I think, has brought any advantage to Africa and Ghana in particular. Now, surface mining quite a west because to try and take out the vegetation, I don't believe in that at all. So, and it has to be managed properly. One more chef forestry commission, one more chef minerals commission, one more a chef ministry should make sure that all these things, environment has to be balanced. Ecosystem, environmental engineering, it has to be balanced because the greenery is a carbon sink. So it's all part of life. It gives life. And to want to make us here can trees now provide oxygen. So all these things are problems that we face in the way we've planned our urban areas. Very poor. They say in Accra, if you take a picture of Accra, a plan of Accra from 1900, we have followed it out through now.
Okay.
About 65% of our green cover has been taken out. Oh yes. Until and then you to a brewer and did 2 hours granted drew or door. Because all the spongy surface in engineering, we call it spongy surfaces. And okay, as you to it me percolation, it me conform no. Because you are tile ho, you do roofs like 100% run off.
Baby, crown na yes swampy areas and one more failing.
And no crowd the west crime in Tiasia. These are areas that should be off limits. And we have put in our manifesto. I chaired the infrastructure committee of the manifesto. The assemblies and how they manage the environment, loose powders, the planning, town and country planning, and how permits are given. Missy me call Takra din and saying, Unum se Takra de hilly kakra. Utum se ye jab boom, ye jab the side of the hill. Na I expose at said the Oko wager. One wager they were high. I wager. Ufri. Ye swan ye co school and fans. Who be a green hill this year. Fe. How is it that district assemblies or DCs are issuing permits for people to destroy that? These areas should be off limits. Oh, we should protect the society, protect the environment. There should be the common good. And because of politics, who say I got 2 months to election. One more campaign to show me until they don't have a solid message, they're not saying anything. Bawumia has a very convincing message, talking to the Ghanaian people, they are listening to him. Until let's latch on to something that has become a hot potato. And all of a sudden, somehow, they've been able to get into the clergy, the unions, and everybody is talking about Galamsey at the same time. Galamsey and Nenebe. We all saw the distraction even during Professor Mills' era. That is when we saw the...
now, where would you say politically motivated?
Oh, it's quite clear. I mean, and they say you don't have to be a scientist to see that. It's quite clear. Why? We have 2 months to elections.
Sure.
Why don't you prepare a program? Even if your friend is saying unions near there, if you think you want to make a contribution, you are better off dealing with the new government.
Why must I young stop a cry?
Now, time who says yes, stop it. I'm saying when I spoke about that in 2022, where were they? It was probably 3 times I said that. 3 times. It was covered widely. I didn't hear any word of support from the clergy, from the Christian council, from the Catholic bishops. Nobody. As if it would be anti. And it was repetitive. I was going around the radio station and I was saying it. It was published. Obi anti. What has changed? All of a sudden, immediate action has to be taken in the heat of a campaign, because you think that by doing so, you cause disaffection for the government in power, and then you can ride on that and cheaply get into office. They are not going to win this election. Bawumia is going to defeat John Mahama handsomely. So I've been around politics a long time. I've seen the eyes of Ghanaians and the affection that they have for Mahmoud Bawumia. Obebitino. First round.
Na enkom shabo.
I don't even mean person me cancer answer no cry. Eno de me enra me say who of pedi back. So ti on so kai.
What was he say?
Utable. I say God is not in the business of politics. And I want it.
Debbie.
Hey, coffee tape no.
Okay.
No, if God is in the business of electing presidents, the enanka obitima can say God, I mistakes so Africa have a
But
anyway, I think say look, me, I have my personal views on this matter. I'm a very spiritual person, but I've been in politics and I know what happens around these things. And yes, we'll be quite sorry because there's a congregation there. We all have to respect our people, and you go and worship with them, whether it's in a mosque or it's in a church, or when you go to. Just even look at what happened. A friend is saying the NDC were criticizing Bawumia. Say I saw for the Ensatu so. John Mahama even went west, called them hypocrites and all that. Say I don't know woman good words. And so the next day no obun kutoje and Ensatu so. I mean, if this is not
the end also is based on Abanfunwi. So on your media banti.
Omede.
Or the second time.
No. The main can say you should have values and principles.
Okay.
So Ade will say more binye no. You don't go and do the same thing. And then people are making mockery of him on the social media with all the videos of what he did. Now saying, me di President Kufuor, me di Adu Wahiachi. Uko baby and crying for wa. Omo dual system. Uko omo ahemfo manche. Na wasan ko Ulomo. Ulomo omo ewurabi omdugu kom ya. Edibi gu Kufuor kom, edibi gu Nanadu kom. Edibi gu ayi kom wo ayi friend saying, emsele jukuku ne ekoy. Labadi ho la de kotopon. Now, omo de video as you say, oh, he's dabbling in a abosomsom. No, that is the culture of the Ghana people. Where you're very just omo fe buo aman kan for kra. Nipa no di buo aman kan for say mo ye kan for mo culture ni.
Ba omo say as a Muslim no need so opening. Come the good come no eat.
There be enya ne sa. Enya ne sa. They do good kuma. You are respecting the traditions of your people.
Sure.
O mine obeso obedi no. It includes Muslims, Gans, Ewes, Ashantis. In fact, Obi Crack, I say, they may come here. I say, oh, mine here better. I'm always room. I shall for home. Ubi at home. You'll be president for everybody. It wouldn't mean because rightful people. So on them, John. So you have to be a president. Unim form, and that's where I think Bawumia scores more. So, look, he's shown that he's ready for the work. The hard work. Last week we went on a 17-day tour without break. Baby cry me feel it from the voice.
Wow.
Without break. Wait to see how 2 days no join have press conferences. Have you seen any sustained campaign from the major candidates?
I know na na ehunu because of Achim North. The no say no. Now they were not visibly seen.
Oh no. I seen North they were visible. The strategy was simple, which is what they've been trying to do. Nancy Bawumia has nipped it in the bud. Omko catch us in not for say, sa LGBT sensem no yen yepe. Na yen pe say mema worry mema ma worry ma. You know that kind of dirty campaign. Now NDC there, say on majuma no. Every 1992. Omo tisi krom ha e ka say kozongo bia one Asante 4 party. Omo say omo kan guye so sa. And it really went down in the Zongos. Much say, "Omo to aba my cry." Omo ka say, "See about power, ye the aliens compliance order. What did you need that? Aliens compliance. Dr. Buzia time. Inti nipa ni pi ana se bi on free Nigeria be settle ha ne ade na omo na no mo ha no. They remember the pain of the aliens.
Yes, a friend Apollo something.
Apollo 69.
Apollo 69.
Yeah. And no the year campaigns. So until there, now 2008, Oman confer a list of ministers, including my name. I'm that number 3. Yeah, you was cow Prudential Bank. Who can say scan in Aboma? Bank of Ghana credit says scan.
Nanamo.
Debbie, because that time I'm near account of Prudential. I feel I might be account of.
Okay.
At the material time, they brought that list out. Almost me call Infantine Crassi. No, I'm the Jubilee House. And I'm in Crassi. I say, oh, Kufo. Or we scanner or they sit down or they be man when you know, so they have been masters of communist inferior tactics, masters of propaganda. And Toronto there, Ghana for should be very wide awake because they speak a lot of vile propaganda and lies about people. That's what they do. They are masters of it. Until you be drew abattoir. Instead some be campaign, or major campaign at all. And they want to make the country ungovernable. And now all the discussion is about Galamsey. And I find that very strange. So because
organized labor
and not quite who says fetish priest. I mean, all sorts of things are being said. It's quite clearly it's been orchestrated. Then so medium GD a Juma Dr. Bawumia Sinenisoa. Oh yeah. He's working hard. He's going to every community or Kobebia or engage or call the needy a man penny for Okrum or share him for answer, share so for Kremufo, Sarichi Zungu, Omo Yensa no Juma. I did not send to many movie and son of share party for rally. No call the next. That's sometimes 4 constituencies in one day. Sometimes
it takes
strength into the vitality that it has. Nyankopon is certain nyanko. Do we be enemy stress beyond hand or go break it down. So but we are very determined. Otisi from no nama. We are only exercise out now
between a Momo campaign message and this campaign message on free SHS no utie Mampendada Mahama oba wobe pejano now even one really a private schools no aka ho na first year bia no obema loan students loan trust na odi atua yef and the wo tertiary
Kwame yes say kwatwe kwase obema
ntoma
tie ni din yes sir nipa no be president da nti he's had the opportunity omutimi a friend is saying campaign adverts several condemning the thing. In fact, he said it was a whimsical policy. Those were his words. 419 whimsical policy. Sir, free SHS no ska on fanyese ejuma. And so over the last 7 to 8 years, 5.7 million Ghanaian children are benefiting from the system. And then you call baby him for ne and ma woman omni dear dance yes first no more toy and tuma. A bin more also and kola being na buha as or tenefie because unibi. Many people who would not have had the opportunity. And this is a policy with the bar affecting every household. Where and yet policy affecting a section of the population. Ghana Nibia. All the regions everywhere. In Tisa policy, far-reaching policy, and another danko kufodo the buy about me a tarnish or matimia achieve no there. Me jidi say the papa. Now who mistake on my year by fighting it into no no pese they want to come back and create the impression. Say first cry some they buy. Into Sakasa no say Ghana for nyankola. Omani be womusu tie. They know what is the truth and what is propaganda. Into ubi enim say Ghana over the last 30 or so years after this Fourth Republic, all the far-reaching policies are a boa a here for a MPP na de buy. One way ni be. You cry a center right conservative almost one social democrats. Almost for one intervention my.
One intervention be anywhere a rich hospital see a be upgrading no na nipa betimi akọ. One intervention be anywhere a chair a circle Dubai a year why ya car no.
I don't even remember me call there. That interchange, you share the cost of it. Circle there.
Aye.
It's more than about 5 interchanges. Yeah. Ghana has.
Hey.
I'm telling you. Well, I don't even want to go there.
Okay.
Because me say Kumasi Airport. Ye overlay keke. Any lights. Say 29 million. I was general secretary. I had calls to write to them said that cannot be possible. I worked as a young engineer on that runway. I know the length of that runway in 1991 as a resident engineer, Ghana Highway Authority. Lemex bound, you know me, yes, sir.
Welcome for no.
Aye. I was the resident engineer there for a couple of months.
Okay.
Oh, and you know, I don't want to waste too much time on some of these things because to be I feel say yeah, at fault. Say you buy dubious projects like Saglemi. We didn't do anything about it. Dragged on and dragged on and dragged on. Till say okay, who be because be a politics now. Me ntia said that say ya term sika over 200 million. Near their comma foreign contractor. Okusi dan so no akusi ni room baby. Connected to nowhere. With no transit arrangements for transport and nkrofo e kotra ho no 5,000 units na say umusi ewi ase omutimi si less than 1,200
wo mu see na ko wo mu see a the end is a revolving fund bi you see na yaton na sign
no the government no the NDC government koji bosia ye tua say o mo so say agem sa bosia koji and edima contractor.
Wow.
That should cover. We have simple mathematics. Just say that should have been $40,000 per unit. They ended up from what they have been. They are telling us that every unit cost them $127,000. How?
Wow.
Apartments. And those are some of the things I think that as a government, you take a look at a few major issues and deal with it. The issue of people collecting double salaries, which is the worst form of corruption. So ministers and parliamentarians double for some strange region. You aren't taking any action. And so those are some of the shortcomings as a government that we have to be honest to admit to, and then move on. Let the Ghanaian people know, say, this is the beginning of a new chapter. Baumia is going to lead the country on a certain trajectory. We need, we have to cut our coat according to our size. It's gotten to a point, as if Ghana for him. We share a road network. We have one of the most extensive road networks in Africa. If you per capita, our population and the land size, the road network that we have in this country, over 100,000 kilometers, is one of the most densely connected road networks in Africa. In Tibia, it's time for us to put a block on new roads and maintain what we have, because we don't have a maintenance culture. Instead of intervening, intervening. Now, I feel I say we are new contract, those are the things that I do believe conversations Dr. Baumia having. The waste in the system. Ghana, co-ministries, Sika almost spending on workshops, seminars. There be a of course, it has to. Now, the amount of reports that are on the shelves that have not been implemented, we have to move into an implementation mode. The Bia near Koda Hotel, near the Nipakogu hotels, is a waste of everybody's time. The country has to be serious, and I believe Dr. Baumia is a very serious-minded person. That is why I'm attracted to him, because I see my values and my views and principles very aligned to what he is espousing. The small government, efficient, effective government, and having a drastic penalty regime. Say you have the political will to punish people for wrongdoing. That has to happen in this country. On my team, the Public Accounts Committee about be 2 years late, to start with. Nobody gets punished for the delay. 2, now Sika, I am misappropriated various amounts of money. Misappropriated. And so be a muda. And politicians, we are the easy a day about beating me trying. A lot of it is down to our technocrats and the civil servants. You understand? Yes, we have to lead by example and also manage the ministries and the government. But we are a manager of a ministry. You are not a technical brain. Inti wamune advice to the minister to sign a lease into a forest body. Those questions should be asked.
So, you almost emrano ban. Inti no, wamusi se, wamuso me a chief director ho, me a CEO ho, nebi a mo PMC, me wo Minerals Commission, me wo ha, me sign, me nye from so.
Emrano na enye unum se emrano emwa na enye is against environmental principles, especially you will be or EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. You are there paid to safeguard the environment for this country. And there was a reason why it is a forest reserve. So, and if eventually we've seen some gold deposits there, it should take a stream and sun be a decision, be a certain portion of it. You bet me echo into it on a certificate of emergency. So, and after that, all these mining leases, they have reclamation clauses in them. When we saw Biako mining, as I restore green renewal. I didn't.
There be a reclamation. You start the money power from okay.
And see, it has become a milking, money-making machine for the system. And because Ghanaians are materialistic, they say sika abedi enim. Yes, one entisa kwame. Yamasika abedi enim. It is those of us who believe otherwise. As he is sorry near Kasa. Even if it affects our party, our government, sometimes we have to be seen to be saying it. And I quite remember when we were campaigning, I was saying a few things about how tough the economy is, and that as a president intervened. At the time, that dollar 1 to 7.
Yeah.
Can the NDC for your propaganda, Mati adverta, Omoka 15 or 16?
Aye.
If I had been listened to, yeah, Kasebia me Kasakeke. So, on my is it leader there, who here nipa, beti ma hwe wanim, no ma kan okra look you in the eye. And there should be enough elders in this tradition. Muye self-made men. You don't need anything from anybody.
No.
And for the last 10 years since I had my problems, I've survived on my own. I'm not a part of the government. I don't take any pegs from anybody. And to say me kasa free me, I mean well for the Ghanaian people. And to any leader who I feel means well for the Ghanaian people, I'm going to support him. And I think that Dr. Bawumia is a very solid example of that kind of person.
With
that kind of background now. Niema wa from niya dia wa hu ni wiase. Emma wo tima. Unse ye kase. Only the patron of Lepers Aid.
Okay.
So only the call wager leprosario. Which is a micro me who propose say eja. Ye who lepers say here kio no now yem. Udi papa echi no atam bia boy bo. Just say ukure also tem bisa. Enya dia. No, or Satimano.
Yeah.
Or a patron of the street children. Only also for Campbell.
Father Campbell.
Father Campbell. Oh, enti oyobia ope tembi ope so boa. Omu enibi. And I think we need a critical mass of public spirited leaders in our country. Nye omu eba se ahane ebenye sika. That mentality a cripple into the system. No? We've got to stop it in both parties, Maka. And there have been bad examples in both parties. Sebin kola enye jumada emo brani atamom edo makusi positions akese na afufu omo. So
no na wo kan you because obi onye adwumada.
Yeah.
Na so boduam kakra na memfa advert yi emfem. It's all about Dr. Bawumia. LPM ya diaba. Na wo se Ghana for ye chia mu nyina na ye bomama ne se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for president no ebebem ne beba pa wo se mon komodi amudie nyina no monka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ho asem papa obe transform Ghana na wode Ghana akọ ba bia esese ekọ obe ye vice president no niema bi ti say wode aba digital Ghana agenda no the mobile money interoperability aba afei ye records ni nyina say no ye utilize no na abegu yeso afei e-pharmacy aba whereby ya wokọ a wo to adura o click na wa click baby e wono na e de abrɛw zipline medical drone delivery system no wo de aba na no Kamala Harris wono so wogina ma no wono so ba ye obeka ho asɛm na wo ye no so to nkyɛn ya wo se Yawura Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, ni vision no a simple. Was it a modern Ghana, efficient Ghana, where everyone benefits. Nature say Ghana enemre mu Ghana nipadi animu eboa se bibie wo mu bia no ebeye nyina ye dia. Was me kai wo say 7th December to Abama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Na ukọ ballot box no so a wada number 1 on the ballot. Na ne transformational journey no woni Ghana fo nyina entu no wonfa yenko sifa pimpa ebeboa se Ghana yehwe o se Ghana hia kanifo a waye bi pen na emu enya matrama kwa bia sa leader no ene Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wo se wabato ho hia na toaba efema wo dachi it is possible dia na wo toaba e di ama Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia for president 2024. Nam diaba. Na ai
who say na obo interoperability na o break akra. You know asante for ne bro.
Yeah,
mane.
Say ya kasa. But ani wani yeti bro.
Yeti bro kakra o da na nkrofo this way so ya.
There you. Omo Kumasi market wono kegeti ahon. Ekohu obi oti wona. And your language no so na dan me kire mu ase is written and studied.
That's right.
Kasa biya eye brofo say Latin whatever no. Ye de ba yen kasa no ebe kan no sede ye pe.
That's right.
Aha.
That's right. I want to say many people we take it for granted. For instance, me na say you too kwan wo ha no anya call say e bia electricity wo fie eswati pa kakakra bi. Utimi once you have internet on phone so
say kwa de yen tua sika o.
And there be sky out. We just meet me here from a bank account straight na kutua. Na ni ho. So enti ene obi send uska. Amana ne first bank ko gina Western Union or bank. Salaisa. Ene ni nyina eni ho. These are things that or the enema ba are impacted positively on the lives of Ghanaians. Ama enema chase ye house ati. Enti very important. We share the issue of ghost names, you see. Now we share a national ID card. Me kaise ko for the bar 2007. I still do kids here on team. Me kaise at that time me kaise look. Sadi were very good. Enti see it me designing here. A bedroom baby no and here say electoral commission for ebeye omo register near sans resti sika. Because if we are able to get everybody on the database of national identity, ye who one amount card. Your amount card that is abroad national insurance number, now say US security number, social security number. And no one now the 18 almost almost send a message say your name has been migrated onto the electoral register.
Ayi me wo me bano ewo California. Wanu kwa de uni wi a wa msama booklet bi to register akwala ne say we Republican and now we Democrat. Booklet kasi o.
So enti sa niema nyina me ka say those days me can those days are Farijan so na omo we want to interfere with registration. I'm saying yes will be person penana so
also only na preso pen yo
me no na so do get ya no enti eno sa first attempt no was muted. By the time I need free power 2000, I registered best 700,000 people in Ghana. And this is for Vietnam another 8 years. 100,000 crown count. Yeah, by United was still under 1 million. Within a matter of 8 years, we've registered in excess of 18 million people. And then Obia phone number connected to national ID, bank account, BBI connected to it. So we are building an infrastructure, or I would say an architecture for it. A be help you in all facets of our life. And then nyame adma enche bia airport kwa tu kwan na oba ukra Ghana card. Here so be through all these long queues. Uko e-gate, electronic gate na eto na a verify. Na no ano. And then those a year near yina na so fill forms near the because of digitalization. And so beginning then for the years only fell at the candidacy. But these are impact when they impact our life directly. So upeso to young crofoka utifako. Be yina send you be more receipts be beer.
Come on.
Then saying and when the transformation na can. No se mu man kwan sre Ghana for munya gidi wonimu to abama no man kwan a ode be ko bi aka ho mo ano so enti I think say the Ghanaian people
anano kra me hu ade bi minim se eno so ba ya mitria ska ko Arizona koma homeland security for and then omo ye na abetom so omati no mama receipt.
If
because
if the system was not interoperable, until he managed to bring all the telcos, the banks on a single platform.
Okay.
So, until first now to me you scam free bank and franco can umomo account. And at first class you vote necra de telecell. Una to me and send this scam will be or MTN. And then to me send this could be or Airtel Tigo. And then it has simplified.
Obi
critical crown nipa refi. And now when say cocoa board for more system and farmers no cramo way or mutionka. I call Mumboso.
Oh, okay.
Nti na first no because akwaji koko fo sika wo kwam na na ade nyina egu ni phone so
ene kwaje
egu ni phone so nti wuntimi enkoji mfiri ni ho. It has helped in very many ways, that particular policy now or the buy. Hospital ideas also are very good, this e-pharmacy thing, and also consolidation of hospital records. Because where you are file idea na ehwehwe yi hunu na ye ball ID card na eshima na apie. So all these new methods na niema me gidi say a lot of things will be added on. I'm more confident that Dr. Bawumia is the right person to lead Ghana, especially at this time. It's not for nothing. An experienced person to say, me I'm a boss. His Excellency President Kufuor. Because this is a man of destiny. If you see, ubi oha, ya ne nyankopon se dinechi, nipa entiase. So on them shown. Enti, ne ocean rise no, ne the way Nana just 24 hours to decide. No ko asese ne books say office bi Nana do ne be discuss the economy ni ade ni ana say bi a bibi na person oyema no about the economy. Okoya say we come on in stand. 24 hours na adane. So, and the way he's endeared himself to Ghanaians. Ukwa nkrase nkola no Bawumia din no de ajiba bia. It's everywhere. It's on the lips of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
So,
I was a new engineer Kwame J a Japan and Ade Nkomoyi was a senior campaign aide, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party 2024 elections. Na yenene kwetwe enkomo na enti afen wabemwa sana enkomo no tie mo text message kakra amode aba ma menhwe bisa bia metimi akenkan bi de amamwa na yatoa enkomo no so ose obi di ode bae was ya mumfa mudin enka ho mumfa mudin enka ho ose Bawumia all the way na enkomo yi because yenya unei ya ebenya na achede bia na monam campaign
I know correct
baby mo manifesto no page 21 implement wide ranging tax reforms the amount for boss bo pa ba ko say wo kra niema wo bedru port to tax we nie asem ba ko na osaka se obe wave se bia obi o kra no ye adwuma na obe wave ni nyina start and afresh. And community saying,
or implement a flat tax system. Flat tax, not say one. There's no complication because say would the first would the phone back and next crowd the phone back. Let's say back with Nokia, back with iPhone. Unim de ubitria until you are the mercy of the customs officer. So until all these things say flat, so the phone back ubitria 1,500 cities for bringing a phone into the country. Unim, minim, it's easier to comply.
Because the rice, the crown now, we say rice way, need the uncle, where the uncle.
It's too complicated. Let's simplify it. And that's what he's doing. And a friend said, Bruni, 40 foot, say, in cities. And you're fixing in cities, in cities. Now, because every Tuesday, I didn't ask because dollars. I mean, what kind of confusion is that?
You all would see Kanako port. We are now one assistant. So,
side the other back on, you don't know where it ends up. So, I think it's important that we simplify the tax system, and that is what he's about to do. He's put a team together. That is where the details, the final details. Yes. Now, say I buy the buyer. You should have a team who campaigner. You have a team that is thinking. There's a think tank thinking about the kind of quick things that you have to implement in your first 100 days of your presidency. Until you will be meticulous, or prepared, or hard worker, and his level of determination. Because what I was in China, to be an Abraham. Now the voice, Mr. Mahmoud, the voice is the echo. Oh, Cabra, Kosu, you know. It will be ambassador or just to cry or whom in the voice, Kaka. But he has such determination and singleness of purpose, where he determined, said the SO, or ye. And that's the kind of leader I think Ghanaians need. And the younger generation, so who say Baomiano Nyobia, only materialistic, at least from what I've seen with him. So, and he pasa, a very important because the yama sikani niema edienimu omaim biya so ebanesana in ye my. It's important for people to understand that you can live a fulfilled life without being rich. After all, sikani won bebre wo de dey egu bank keke ne 00 bebre on yusu. Kwame say mbusa say, how much money do you need to live a comfortable life? Now they calculate it. A 9-hour person car me no and I say would fancy me and sacra. And the boss me say me do be say can be $2 million.
Oh Debbie. Are they? $2 million.
Nipa be pray ho pre sikasano. And that should not animate our politics. And I decided say I'll be an advocate for that. Me yiri mo wa kan till that be to nipa so.
Na obi bisa question bi o ha say. Party no ye nipa bi wo a wo ni omo esi so wo politics mu a wo so akokwa manyokuo no mu a ene yi wo mapom ba bi atena. Ko obi wo a bi asabe aban ba e we nya kapra anya taku. Obi wo nso a bibi nti obi di ye anu nti no so apen ba bi afa. E de na expel on.
No cranty, I some more can't, and no cry, some more can spare me on. Because man, co politics muda say me cope be and now say me trained civil engineer. In fact, me continue with engineering, I can be a muscassin say. Because from me na see engineer from engineering. Me press secretary man twice I say back grand count. Some of them chose. BBM was from my engineering practice. Because of politics, I've not been able to push it to the level that I want. I should have. So, because I believe in sacrifice. If we ask say you must be for you look at the countries that we are the forebears sacrifice. Singapore, they be a moka liquor, you know, Singapore, because or 920s.
There be Mitty,
I know who Yano, Nancy me call UK. I check a crack. Kenneth Clark, former deputy prime minister. or taxi, black cab, no cohebos in Nottingham Forest.
I was a black in the car.
And our team. We have to have a simple life. Because I'm saying, then you Methodist and then Monday on. And then they marry a meeting, men's fellowship meeting. Yeah, no, me cook a Methodist.
Oh, Quabinia here.
And I'm sure with him and me could be at it. During random person drivers, no more my brems, Munkufi, me, I may drive. Timos a cabin dimensions have films as I training as secretary to be do it here. Why you move Scacran was one or do it here. Timia and Kodru, Achimota police station. I'm saying, I had a major, I had a safe cack and I'm packing. Nani pana paki. Omi obaba kumbema bako. Ade oh. Na honorable unkwana onam. Onam say ade. Anyone was say me ana me drive enumre me nkwana na. Nam say say it's simplicity. As a Ghana for we have to be sensitive to the Ghanaian people. Ghana for a good people. One more penny passem. Penny passing. So we leader grand on your class, still we leader on possum.
Singapore, okay, me for taxi from the airport, na me back like and now me busa driver say, I don't know, I said, Moka, Bakwana, Munina, Musu. Most of the time, I'm can't see manual. Taxis, you know. And was it we live on a small island. In government in the policy, they say, the Erebana, and one will be a baby issue. So I saw crack bar. A bear dear me to me, a boa betrian, bear times bear 20.
So make it unattractive.
Yes, exactly.
So with them sure. And these are measures that we as a Ghanaian people yes, impose law order. Me they have me crying the way we live now. Until we will be our inspection. Yes, highways. There was an engineer responsible for every length of road in this capital.
Bra, what far of Franco barrier hono? sa ade na dade na esi no ebu na aba kwan nim
for be everything ada obi at 3 years na da
about 3 years obi anka ho asem
how at least you try as regional director of Ghana Highway Authority and as Urban Roads enti wo de untimi nye ni ye kra go and remove it and abroche kra na wo de kobom wo ka na de bom so ye be say charge o ubudua ye be say charge o
street lights no so omo ayi Germany kra de wo mo ba heard the extent of damage to the dua
nanka ni a charge o na ye de dua fufura besi ho you know and see this is the kind of mentality we need to build for our country and it is only the leaders that can lead by example. Now, face we make sure say it cascades downwards to everybody. No, be anti say, "Oh my na no." Yes, sir. No, may be Kumasi Major Kobna.
Major Kobna.
Oh, my Kumasi
hotel crowd on the basis status,
Aye.
Hotel or quarter center.
Now that time every 2 years that's all painting would die on main road one.
Major Kobna.
You have to paint it. Ne Nkrumah efe. Them Nkrumah then we paint a bed for 10 years. Time. Oh. So it's it's an eyesore. And you know, these are the simple things. Now Ghana no, these are the qualities of our life as Ghanaians. Now BBS opiska. Obias right now about bosses, you know, they see container. Ubuzan so me BBD. Hey, the upe BBD the whole society should be messed up. Me tat 2 car na jo be 11:30. Nam dia fake room. Usasata obia ponkofi na ho na be who rickety wooden structures. Need time. Oh, it's such an eyesore, and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. I pray and hope Baumia becomes the president, and if he gives any listening ear to me, we have to sort out all these things.
Adenta oyarifa kwanso hwe media no fu
brought me fu I mean we can't run ourselves like that. Ukwa brochure say ho fe no una Maryland na ya manicure garden sea green ya twaso ni nyina so provide adwuma.
Yes, obi adwuma wo ye.
Spanish ni okra pickup ni tools ni pa ba ko behwe nwura wo twa. Yes, I say adwuma ni ho. Meanwhile, we've given the job to one entity and is not able to do it.
Sanitation levy kwa na me hu de dey.
Oh, enti niema ni bi wo ha adwene. We've got to be able to admit, say these are the shortcomings of society, and as government we have to change. Nti media mentia say niema pi wo ha. Enti na bia ya na me ho kire me niema bi because people feel say bia me a bit too
wo ya no ya la kure nye yi.
Eno de won me nye la. Yenye adwuma we adwuma wo be fine. Because I've been in government before. President Kofo Shema and Munyama me and the press secretary although man support to da. And so one kase kwa.
Ah, who was about to that?
98 nyama na mdi na do campaign ni ma ye kopene to no so. And so osino abranti wo hwe me principles me ya wabrane betrame nchen wo kasa as ohun in certain things na o ense na betrame nchen e ko be bia na odi mechi na metete kakra entete papa a menye free peninsa onu say very laid back person on preachy onya na pesi kakra dia no so and we need a critical mass of nipa etisa e wa abem. So, and no, Nebeman Kolana Ewechi na Babu say, look, there is beauty in serving your country, beauty in service to the people, having that collegial mentality to do things for the collective security of our country. The Biba man saying, you know, be a watono. Memenabiana, and Kolan's one you. Missing dancing and Jubina. Unsan kwalan bi anajo no mo de gina oton ne ma humete no mo ba me so na osi ne wasa en to ena me hwe o mo se mo yesen osi mo enam se me yi 200 se mo nyi na mo nche un so mo stop me yi o mo ne ma ne bi so de wo de me ko mo che me eyi
Ghana force man
eyi na
wa
no mo kura sa tissue paper no me de cham se de bi me nyina so so they mean so well.
Yeah, they mean so well.
And all these people have to be mobilized in a way. Now, DSC ejuma. Now more government mo produce mo party. Ebe go enyuma by 400. And I'm Ubejina Namuka, a Jumasem. Who sold off all the Ghanaian enterprises? It is the PNDC, which gave birth to the NDC. And Buddha Mufu said the Refia Semti and Kolanu named the history of this country. And then Mukasati said the ammonia Bonnie Okrumada. They sold it to themselves. Omna status redevelopment of rage. Na ya chucha na oma twame ho. And now akuje to so no nam Kasati said MPP ne started. Rollins no bebo Nkrumah no. He started that and took a lot of it for his own family. Obi antiminga. Me de Emeka. They say we're free mtiame mpeza mekanide.
But so you say oni ajapade bia o.
Wane ka jiro.
San wo mkana no obi
Can't men say you da flare side on how there.
Ane dia.
Only there japade. Those things were wrong and they continue to be wrong. Until during our time in office, there was an attempt to parcel off the baby a foreign ministry or the international hostel. So in foreign ministry say airport on. I never understood that. I never liked it. Until me abaya say man kojibida because I think say state property should remain in trust. Minim sir, and I spoke against it. I don't like it. Nasani it's for all of Ghana.
Because minimum be a cantonments you come on 40,000.
It is wrong. Sadiano a very wrong. We are within 2 weeks. We would make $1 million or $3 million. Why? Money that could have come to the center as Ghana. So if we say a consolidate, would have high rises at Roman Ridge, Airport, Laboni, Yadi. And then as I say, developers, let's keep government's equity at 10 to 15%. If you devalue women, Kabana says, can I 3 billion? Yakoda IMF anymore. Because some people, and also, civil servants, Ome Cracker, Minister, Oba, watch also, as I see the whole. Open ya, Uji, I know what on it. No amount to.
Open ya na. No.
And you see, some of these have always been against the parceling out of. Is Ghana's property should be held in trust for all of Ghana. And you say we are saying redevelopment. Let's say investments about abroche. You know what they do with the council houses. So omo yes akra omo mama say estate now we developing. So ye be eno ye lower eyi kakra nkofo a omo ye adwuma workers so betimi others on beto and on be rent.
Yeah.
Until they will give you a certain component of it. A lot of high-rise, beautiful area. You can't go there. Why? Okay, see, this type, kakra. All these things, if you have public-spirited individuals in charge of the various portfolios, you insist on those things. Make sure somebody is there. So, there are a lot of empty rooms and because it's priced out of the reach of the ordinary Ghanaian. And so some can say, I don't know, Yanton my home. And developer no buy any case okay. I worth 3 million. Because in the event, almost a toma on 40,000. He said, almost got toma and
yes.
Oh, no more the offer difference 2 point something million. So that difference can be Ghana there. Yes, we can. So we could have asked those entities to build something commensurate with our capital and as our equity, government's equity in the project. And so, until we want to parcel out lands for ourselves. Until me say as kuje to black on the casa, me when him di Papa is it that would him the history of this country? Kwame started. Mom dear said we haven't stopped it, which is also wrong, but he has no moral authority to be saying those things. And yes, ideas was started from from their time, the NDC time, the PNDC time, and all of them parceled out state lands to themselves. So,
I see.
We need some right-thinking people in this country, people who love the collective goodwill of our country, Ghana. On my way, you met me as a son in 2 years. I'm telling you. Say focus.
Right thinking.
I'm telling you, public spirit. Say yeah, they are not more mine. Then we are say, Kwame, they are now here. Me, I can't be guru. How many years? You freezing me from 2015. They got 10 years. You buy me so be a
baby.
You can't me so. Say we are modest. unye dwe umpre ho unchire sika ni ade kakra na se kra de wanyini me di dok no half inti me ni full bottle and the crash dok no crash saka but still half me di ameyama
ayema una okuri
me na me krom baby unya bayre 2 body 1 3 you are gone.
Na mami mam fatasi emra ns from Taifa was say e dey na mo de begu akwa party members a wo mo ko independence no won dey ho ne hia no was me kan say pa no wajiwa di say thousands of undecided voters no ebeto aba e dey ama MPP ns from Taifa ne dey eno no we so e dey no o say one day obebo me so bo see how you have allowed this man to flow. You don't ask him any effective question. Ask him more important questions and stop supporting him to flow.
And more no musa question ni be.
Can be a question no the buyer na mama
na ko busa. So, but I think say nipa na can be very important.
Nana Ohineba.
Nti catch na Ohineba say time no nkoi. Nti question bi how of say effective. Independent asem no dey. Dey ha me papa. Because abato Kwame and this is football, a more draw. It's either you win or lose. And when you are getting into that battle, psychologically, as you prepare, now when you have emotional intelligence and stability to deal with the outcome. Obi any ho kwa batuma, ube fancy ube lusu, but ube timi lusu. So, tiasi da say ye to abewia. Especially we a party ni. Ye kwe di epekebima minkebi. Ye pese people should have the choice should rest with the delegates. Of course, niema I say kakra with sikasema abibum nanse and also ya there say we find a way to deal with. But having said that, ye kotoaba. Obi awene, wo awene. Se wo na awene ya kebe ode. Ka obepese nipa na olusu ye no, ometa wachi ni enye. But Nyamincha de, in fact, this current primaries here, mebo national executives nabaso. There was very minimal interference. It's the first because official person we inko the problems about. Enti apart from a few areas, and nipa be lucy ya omode yawo. Na yawo no so de obi oha where the minister of state or primaries. Well, mo be at me and be be away minister. Maybe
to say, my missing Morrison Hossein. Yeah. One crowd here as minister would the fourth. When he second, when he third you. Me the details. No. Okay. So, enti, enyako banisa. Esa utia se. Na unse party na ma akwenya ma wasum party na ma waye nipa asum oman no. And also you have to return that compliment. Now with the ebufu minim say emu ya it was a very heated contest and I'm saying na call na betu no. Oh. So anyade.
Na call out the ko ni ministry.
Why?
Bibisa and I'm say obetu no. So but any see politics there. Life. And say oko NDC mo. Thank you Rebecca Senana kunadu no ko hu Mahama or Japanese embassy. Yes, some no target grants for December 31st. You know, that's that time now. John, grants officer, you Japanese.
Okay.
No, Branty be a gun and you fine. A bit in deny. And I'll be pray deputy minister. So, and so maybe I say, the president. On the coalitions, so between the pastor. We are there. Not the Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah, you know, akweje no jebi dan kwam de kofa de.
Kofa ne bae.
O na ya tie party o. Yes, I twa sika frɛ no bae talk ama no se corral no set up nema. And so etimi ba ne sa. O ye na adwuma no so nipa pie ni mrante ne hu se we de gya wo ne mu se mpanifo yi. E na otwe ne ho na do mu nyina sere. Enti we have to have that emotional capacity to accept results. But be independent will be a media megina ha. On Sheme Kwabna Japan. I was elected as General Secretary. Minim kwaya ebidi me faso. Enso me di manyame. I mean as a party no hu yame sin bibia. 2020 me still on suspension. Man penny be frame say me boa me lead ni enko campaign. Se mu nyina mu hu. call round your campaign. If you say one shed anchor BPI, life is like that. You have to have the capacity to take this.
Maybe na mini chama ya mankwa edi nkomo. Was say mobile power in 2001. And no call President Kufoko Busa and say, na wa wouldn't you quadruple any way end day? What quadro? Na quadro me end day. We are saying no a chief of staff.
So beginning for complaining here. But you see, politics, no, you have the capacity to stomach a lot of things. Intimacy woman eco independent. So your MPP ni pa there. Wouldn't see him run. Say when you call independent. Let's just say what forfeit membership. Yet the any apam one now they to a month. Yes, so no, ye poisem. Ye pese mu nyina mu beka ho.
Obi ti say wo fa say konso amankwa wo lusu ye wo gusu aya dwuma.
Sanity. So enti mesre wo mo. E na party for no sometimes ye no mo hwe mo kasa yi. Obi ho we ne a de obi lusu no na kasa no nye de. Nuado ne anidie enkabum kasa monfre obia ene wo certain regions ne constituencies na ebinum atiate na because obi a regional dey on pese nipa bi beka ho party ye di nipa na ye ena nyu obi ani ho a ye force no so meka ho e voluntary e ni nyina se ye pe ade no ene ye
ze wonu aboache ja akunso atiasi mu o
de nyamiasi
hey wonhwe videos no
there be ni
wa branded cars wonam ahafo bro area ho gada nipa chese preaching pa
de nyamiasi I think it's very senior no so on them in the conference
okay
senior conference on the obi am na nantiache de nyamiasi say obia emra on board of course ebinimu ye mpanifo kakanti ahoden no ni ho kese but obi say Dr. Akoto say he's always backing. Oh wow. Baby, honest, obey me. I can't want. No, I can't.
Bafo Kutoba.
Aye, Dr. Kofi Prekunedia Prekusu Trebia. Oh wow. Or working on some committees. Be a Kabumbeba or Ashanti region. Nina or Kahu. Near the anymore. Obia yen the kakra. Edia boa. Intimidate me. Jidi say. So we a MPP ni mapa. Pana me buy me nyashi near the. Party be anywhere within 4 years and now 10 years. Millions of supporters. Umbia betime nyado. The here say, Ibenya party wa bemu, a besisha bemu niema in a way. Sabi we o captain ni o baby also benya wejuma kakra. Aye. To say the Dana Dr. Baumia can say, Nkunya ni ya. We have to have a buy Ghana first policy. Say school kola. Entire ni ebe pamwa e mo obi meji contract nkwa ba kon se wakofa free China ba da bi ese e chichem origins no na wo mo epumade nso nyina nya bie na de adwuma ba so let's do it in Ghana, let's keep the money in Ghana enti ade a danani so the independent fund there mesa gina wo fidie so asre wo enya ade a se wo so ye MPP ni especially MPP near party na san pejao aye MP akoye minister da say we ko independent minua o suhum say misre na me gidi say we di MP party ni dim party na pejao aba na ekoto ye na anye ya yemfa no saa so enti mesre no and others but I want to let people know say this time the independent spectator and also to say 2008 and also cry artists and me say yes there are a few places are still problems or yeah can wasem yes almost say my party no the party is supreme the party is bigger than any individual a dubo hin buy oko kufu buy oko a kufu ado aka 2 months no oko enti party no there edete ho
ana me kan asem bi say enipa bi te say Jamfi bi kai no.
Oh, okay, can say cry no mama re because amobedi akonum I'm to Davia ma
oh
mami Afrifa
yeah
Rosemary Kwam Kuman Petu BJ Darocha GB Wuku na Wuku no
ebra ye DJ men say to mu na BJ Darocha then times one na any lawyer
So nti nkrofo we hwe nti wenum nyina nti na menya opportunity ya na mepese me kai party for no de kunum amesimeku voter regional that time who voter regional so MPP you're almost risking your life.
Yeah.
So young man to say he was the youngest I was saying yenya ni pensan obey regional chairman Kenwood Nuwasu obey youth organizer Rise be regional
voter regional chairman
for time no man deputy minister enti party no nipa breo nipa brain na those days me 30-year-old ehu abobi
ana na akom sa no
me na me TV so na me party political broadcast me so ye adwuma wo aban adwuma mo Ghana Highways esa anopa na me call officer me mpemfo bi ehu me na obi edwane because na yambesi ehu so ya danfo kra no na bia sata soja fo aban na wo so yenya hand over na soja ni oteso so no so gina bi na wako gina TV so wanya kukuduro kasa se me yentoma no yentoma adubu ai Edward Fachi otumidi genuine support because me share videos nam say the and we di akire no atena fie 30 years anyway the omo genuine supporters I didn't know Edward Fachi to be genuine so that time no peace FM when na commentary they say genuine support enti party no emrante na adi anim sesei no omo hwe omo su ne ban ye omo kasaye and they should be sensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. Enye bibia na eyi kire. Nye bibia na eyi kire. Because nipa bre wo Ghana ha. Until you have to learn to be modest in what you do. Ntina Dr. Baumia has endeared himself because we're modest, ubuadie, unte se obi kana ho asem bone efi bia ntanatarim ono so se o kan obi asem bone da. So, he's an exceptional person. I feel say President Kufuor was right when he said he's a man of destiny. It appears that any time in our history somebody pops up who is right to lead this country, Ghana. Party for no rally together. Party abayin na sena mekano. All the people-centered policies, national health insurance, capitation grant, school feeding, free bus ride. Ninyina came during MPP time. National health insurance, a friend said free senior high school, free TVET, So this is a party that thinks about the welfare of the Ghanaian people. Enti media mesre. Abato na ekoto. Ubi ekochire na dwen. Yenuanum NDC4, they are seeing defeat staring them in the face. Enti wama panic. Oh yes. Enti create some chaos for this country. So they are trying to push people to engage in demonstrations. 2 months to elections, so you're busier. Now you're confident that you'll be campaigning. You will not be behind protesters.
But so, yes, one more campaign.
The result will tell.
Now, what's the one touch?
Yes. 53% Baumia, 1 round. I'm very confident of that. Enti media me kakra me ka kire yen party for.
Ma me fa we so na afi will be the by say and kwasa wo mo 0.5 no mu reducing the cost of living. Say be ma ne mu aba from. E say dan boy yen pa o.
No correct. You know, there are certain things that I have had a few this back and forth with the candidate because I'm not an economist, he is, but I've never believed in this floating currency exchange principle. So you should leave the currency for the market to determine. Because Ghana market, any proper market. It's an informal market. You can't bring prescriptions from the West, America, IMF, backed by gold all around the world. I don't think we should ever pay more than 5 cedis for $1.
Then you better than yet to me.
I don't know to me. I know a lot. For a more
okay,
the federal, currency board that looks at the dollar. So until they take actions to support it when it's growing weak, so my intervening. We can't do that.
Singapore,
and
okay.
it's the one thing parameter working against us. NSRD.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
But you know the reason why I make us say is Ghana, no, we are in a country here. Yeah, the dollar a day. Kwame. We don't. Dollar is not legal tender. I think the Bank of Ghana is.
And Goro boys.
That's right. Illegal. They should not be selling dollars along the street because dollar is not legal tender in this country.
Me call Singapore. Na me do anajo and na hotel a me call that me get check in. And I me dollar semi di tria.
Onye.
Ose Debbie. Was it on financial kure and a camera capture and say oh this can. Nam say my day adiasa. No se obey ma me say. Obeti me give me passport not. But there is a place.
That's right.
They no kwan almost say we are yensa back ma obi a.
Debbie. Yes, we are. They can only give it to you in the local currency.
Thank you. Singaporean dollar.
And our law says that. I say so dollar or bank cry. Ukwa as a Mount CD
equivalent.
Unless then your bank should be able to pay with your dollars that you have. And these are some of the things that we can't maybe. We've got to fight and bring sanity, restore sanity to the forex environment. Yes, it be the Forest Bureau. They are supposed to be licensed forest bureaus. You have to ask Central Bank. We can't say because governor, my classmate, no. We don't let him fans from together. Now, me because me feel say all the licensed forest bureaus should be on a platform that is open to the Central Bank Inspectorate Division or supervision. And say also will compare dollar. And then I would call ye. So who Ghana who hear dollar day. So and you remember in 2022 when I criticized the former finance minister, I said I wanted to know what is the demand envelope like. Ghana to see and a dollar any other one of me here dollar. What the Ghana has in the dollar. And nipa say one more crane man, and which are the critical things that we have to satisfy? Because me apart from oil, a driver transportation, and transportation drives inflation and food and everything, and pharmaceuticals drew. So person kokra you folks and as kokra your friend is saying non-essentials. He say toys no money idea. I'm not as a government. I'm not interested in satisfying your demand. Demand the how many they are essential. And once upon a time we had import license. So you have to tell us what you need the dollars for. And now almost repatriating there. The government has to control the repatriation. Because MTN discussing on the bagana. $50,000. First from Ariba said then
Ariba space phone.
Space phone there. Send on the bagana. More about Beji Sika, Sa no must we am supposed to send no. If I'm in government, we will look at that. We won't accept that.
Because Goro boys say, oh, 100,000 is your binyabro.
Me say, who call banks now? Oh, here is Kai Sibino. Oh, I know my son from my few minutes, I bet me and you be the bro. So the money that we as central bank are giving to the banks, they've sent it back. There's a cartel to these who they offer from Goro boys. One more yes, sir. Kaole nominated. Omukra says can. National security is looking on unconcerned. This is an illegality that is being perpetrated in this country. And the name and we've got to find a way, and at least that will bring sanity into the forex space. How? So within a year now, didn't move from 7 to 16.
And 16.
Why?
16.4.
Why? What is the cause of that? Because Nkrofo determined that. So the government should intervene and say, look, we are here for essential, Braeho. Sikana Kamedebeko auction. Auction. I'll give it to you at 1 to 5. Name so the cockra fuel. Because we export price, we are fixing 1 to 17. In Kawaii 1 to 5, say now, you work the calculations. After all, we used to have prices and incomes board. Why is it that fuel no I didn't the purity and others you per se determine? Nemum currency the in sa. And wouldn't say a soft way be omo J collection no Monday no Marcos
into dollars.
I'm telling you. For free Nigeria say because I higher lose into umba basis and dollar. And so we need to strengthen the institutional arrangement governing this whole forex environment. And immediately I feel say we should go back to either a currency board or government should fix it. Unless government is saying we don't have enough dollars to supply the essential services, that is fuel and pharmaceuticals. Others in the baby dollars.
And you're almost okay.
And I'm very. That is my response. I will give to the question.
The question, no. And you're running up. He saying a walker at the actual year. 1 year 8 year Ghana for one kotwaba and net busumi no pepe.
First and foremost, Mesre say as Ghanaians we have to recalibrate our thinking. And the way you hunema Ghana for ye pay pulling people down and destroying each other. We friend slash and burn politics. We should love one another. We have a beautiful country. We have a country that is blessed. There's peace in this country. There's religious harmony. And especially Dr. Bawumia is someone from his background who has worked to bring Muslims and Christians together for them to realize that they are Ghanaians first. Enti, woman can't come and tell him. Abato ba. And toko biensi. Emre swa oko sunlight. Na watu aba. Upeso kufi aba ko upeso kufi na pe be agina. Na ya kan. Ye keka bomu a. The Ghana for Apejano on the bear president. And we have been in opposition from 1982, in fact from 1972. And the about power 2001. And yes, I call opposition. And yes, about power. What I want to tell the average Ghanaian and the politicians is that power is not everything. It's not everything. One more young said that any brainy ideas about power and you should have a deep sense of moral authority to change our country, Ghana. And only here, see a baby to give something back to society. And that will be a me whether you are an ordinary person, you are a minister of state, or whatever. You mean the diabua or minor to relieve the suffering and the pain of the ordinary Ghanaian. Ni say because ye betwa bantino. Yengu we hufi. And yet, and now you can see with the social media. And in fact, I called a friend is saying general manager, father. This so when the phone was my friend because there was this is a music producer, say friends a bulldog as a one. But Jina UTV, the deep president at him and call about more dear cry. And see, if you disagree with something, do you have to use those unprintable words? People who are not well brought up can sit on television and say what they want. National Communication Authority, what are they doing? National Media Commission. Just because somebody is behind the mic, ubi na no asemo emfata no o catch Ghana for. Dia him for atem, di mampeni atem, di ubi atem. How can that be? Calling people names without any evidence. How can that be? That should stop. It's not Ghanaian. And yes, Ghana forte. You can disagree with the president. I have disagreed with him on many things. There's a number of ministers and the lack of action in certain areas. That is fair. So, but to sit on and disrespect Obia Sebi or Obikro or Yonana, it's completely un-Ghanaian. A buni e maimukra. Now say there might be koya fe woman na mention say ye kopacho. Who tells you that once you are in front of the microphone you are God or you are all knowing to the OPBS oka? There should be civility and etiquette. Or maybe what kind of country are you trying to build? And the NCSA, I have issue with them giving so many licenses. Ghana, a small country of 35 million. We have about 300 television stations. And which don't fit what a television station should be. It be based on religion. It be based on witchcraft. I mean, you can't do that. You're wrong. Some of the programs are omuyi or national television. So, it's poisoning the minds of the young people. And I think that the National Media Commission, the National Communication Authority, and the Association of Private Broadcasters should put their heads together and cleanse the system. Drain that swamp. Because there is a lot of poison being poured out. As if says a BBC or many more. Ebinum de encounter, ebinum ne bekaun. We need to have a peaceful country, protect our peace. Yes, because on the altar of political expediency, yen create chaos, and those who want to benefit from the chaos and ride on the economic difficulties at Ghana facing. Into yenye demonstration, yenye say the Ghanaians are not angry enough. When I hear that kind of talk, Omaya nipa ba kubechi ye share them say na 5 o'clock, na 6 o'clock, na 7 o'clock. Kunkum nipa. Ya fed through those a year. Na say yenya democratic dispensation, successfully transitioning government. Na emrena so ne ekoto aba. Obi ankoto na ba. Ya tena opposition da. Ya tena abamu da. Ube enuntu wa abamu fuso be nya taba tu akosoro. Ya no nyina te asase so ase. And to those who are so aggrieved and aggressive for power, if they really mean to come and serve the Ghanaian people and do the hard work, don't be this aggressive, because that hard work is difficult. It's those who have the mindset, that chopping mentality. No contribution, no chop. Chop. I'm trying to tell Ghanaians they should have faith in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He has strong personal integrity. He's never been investigated by his own government. Never. And I believe, say, Tima, or Nkaye, or Do, for both Christians and Muslims. And he's helped a lot of people. And it's that kind of leader we need to drive this country in a new direction, especially as we know that the whole world is moving along a global village, technologically advanced with the 4th Industrial Revolution. We need somebody who understands these things and who has shown a record of delivery. Look at the amount of initiatives that were pursued as vice president. Over 30 initiatives were pursued, which impacts on the lives of we Ghanaian, the Ghanaian people. Intermediate, Masami Kakrebi, Bren Twa, Shesroho number 1, for Kukrumotisi Homa, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then the parliamentary candidate. And no, I'm fine with it. I don't think politics is about life or death. The sanctity of this country and the welfare of the Ghanaian people, for me, is priority. And politics and political parties are mere vehicles to get this transformation. I happen to belong to the MPP vehicle, and I believe the MPP is good for Ghana. The MPP is the party that has delivered the most socially impactful interventions abuanipa ewo Ghana hase. Enti asem kakra bi na asofo no nyai na ntokwa ebesi na people have made an economy, an enterprise of a any ekoye match and mo ye fremu nyina mo mesan yi. We don't need that. They should stop this fear mongering in this country. They should do their work, which is spiritual enrichment of the lives of Ghanaians. Oh, share software to and I win a very president, and I win a bear say, win souls for Christ.
But
that is your work.
Without them, no.
Nyame,
Kwame
Nkrumah Tikese the same way. That is blasphemy. Don't ever say it. I'm a Methodist. Nyankopon on pese onu obi a share the authority. Nobody should even contemplate. Say nyame wono na wotumi so obi be wo ye Nyankopon. No nim de besichna. Do you know what will happen even 24 hours from now? We don't know. Ni nyinaa de hyɛ nyame nsa. Enti yɛnyae saa kasa no a ɛmfata. Ɔmo sɛ nkrɔfo awareɛ, sɛ nkrɔfo families. I mean, every clip you see on social media, you see men of God, supposed men of God, talking about politics. Oh, they never speak about the Holy Bible. Convincing people, talking to people, changing their lives and mentality. So, and that is what we need from we the Ghanaians. I know it will be a very, very peaceful election.
Wow.
And Dr. Bawumia will win it comfortably. And the MPP will have a good majority in Parliament to be able to usher us into the new dawn, a new era, a new dimension, a new chapter, and a new direction for Ghana. And we need the support of all well-meaning Ghanaians. It's about Ghana. It's not about ourselves. And I can use myself as an example. See, I can't shed Democrat for 10 years and yanko pombero in common kun so odwin papa. And tisa adwene say e kwa bema ko nyesika ko ese no ehunim faso is a waste of everybody's time. And we need to tell that to the current generation, tell that to the upcoming generations, because I'm getting worried when you talk to the young people, both NPP and NDC. They've seen a few bad examples, and Omfu said that is the only route to life. No, route to life is hard work. Develop a career for yourself. Find something to do. Kakra. And then when the opportunity comes, you go there with a clean heart. I went there with clear motives, clean heart to serve my country. And I've never regretted it. The opportunity that His Excellency President Kufuor gave me to serve him as his press secretary. Oh, I'm proud of that. Gave me an insight into how a presidency should be run. Enti me de kakra meka no yenyai bibia se bibia eyedidie. It is bad on us. The materialism must stop in this country. Now, if we the leaders don't talk about it, who will speak about it for us? Enti kakra Kwame me de manu besi ha.
Yes,
mada otiefo sre nyankopon hyira ma obia o Ghana. Se enema mu adin na nsuso ye na kakra things can be better. I know this country can be turned around in a matter of 2 years with firm, people-centered leadership that understands people, that loves people, that cares for people. Who say obaji na kwan ho na osrade na ne ba hye na chi na ewie bo na hwe sa hwede ne kura enru 50 cedis. Na say anhye wakoma, you have no business going near politics.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Yes, said as a pa Yewra Kwame Nkrumah, former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, or your engineer by profession. Now, or your senior campaign aide, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, my main court straight away. Now, Mini Philippa Atanga, and so Amani Bawa, the free court, no, and we're cheap, but the best entertainment. Auntie Philippa, Memoache. Yo, na democracy hub before no, and then SC.
Yo, democracy hub for no, the Becaya, Nano, your court, second court, and I say, young woman, na, prison, and the police, I catch it now, or China, may I do 8 October, me and woman in Ambra, into your remand you 2 weeks. Menona say, a group of Becaya. Yedem and the bossy just say, or more lawyer for one, you say, I'm on the bill, so say, bill na yama omo second spot no be appeal e say omo de be ko omuni na omo afa ko chihu man so na say omo akoka ho asem nti omo de asem no ko dan high court na high court ni etie omo bill na ho nkomo na high court ni sit na emo ofa ye che omumu mienu nti se si amika say de omumu 9 eye nipa mako 9 na criminal division e high court a eti mo afo na ejemu ye comfort tatiame ama omubill na bill edo olipa ba kubia ti so 70,000 Ghana cedis with 2 surety na court no so ahye se obi anfa ne Ghana card enkoja registrar no eno danche omo digital addresses so omo fani nyina ma court registrar no na afen so de bia na wachi bia daku ewu no omo fo mo ko kire apolisifoɔ enti wɔfa na kakra isu aka high court no nipa na ye ti omo sɛ omo kɔ yɛ ɔyɛ kire ɛfa galamsey ni ɔman sɛmi mu ayɛ den ho a ye ti omo kɔ gyina ɛyɛ akasɛ court na mo do baabi asɛm no kɔ high court no deɛ wagye so pini ama mo bail a nipa 9 ɛna samre ya mo do 70,000
na ọmụ maka no so
ọmụ maka no so wɔ another court nti na me wɔ hɔ no mo na ɛwɔ sɛ nitue ɛbɛyɛ report
oh okay
nti di sɛ wɔfa ɛnkyɛ otimuafo no no sisi egya mu no ɔde na no December tuja sɛ ɔmo sɛ ɔbɛma ɔmo bail na sɛ ɔbɛma ɔmo mpo a ɛyɛ sɛn anaasɛ ebi a ɔmo a yɛ ɔde ɛno so atuja na yehu nea ɛɛkɔ
mame na wase no pɛyi
ɛdaase
besme da se pa yen sentro ni Philip Atanga amane ba wode eba ye no na yemfa enchia sonkoma owura Frimpong manson wo ne wabusua mo wo Belgium ewo Norway na mutie okay FM live nso so ewo ho awrade enhira pa yeda mo nyina nso so ase ye sorry so ano no ya sorry so